Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to beautiful downtown London, Ontario. The rain has stayed away, and we are ready for baseball. The second exhibition game this season for the London Majors as the Brantford Red Sox are in town to take on the guys in the pinstripes, who are actually wearing the pinstripes today, not in the alternate jerseys. Welcome inside the Game Day London broadcast booth. Dylan Baker alongside me, Justin Koehler. We saw Justin on the field yesterday, up in the broadcast booth here today. And Justin, a pretty successful first exhibition game overall for the Majors.
Yeah, I think it was everything they were sort of looking for in a game. We kind of mentioned it yesterday, but we saw a little bit of everything. We saw some walks, we saw some balks, we saw some strikeouts. Pitching-wise, we saw a great performance from the 5 people on our staff who appeared in the game. Daniel Gore, Travis Keys, Jonathan Henry, Pedro de los Santos, and Skylar Janice all combined for just 1 run in the game, which is exactly what everyone with the team is looking to see going forward. And everything all around was just spectacular.
Ty and I were talking about it during the game yesterday. A lot of the guys who were pitching were competing for the 3 and 4 spot in the Majors rotation, and overall a successful performance for Daniel Gore especially, and Travis Keys as well, allowing the 1 run. Both potential options for the Majors rotation this year. Switching gears to the offense was fantastic. There were 2 home runs hit in the ball game for the Majors. Gibson Krasminski had a double off the fence. I mean, a good showing offensively as well for London.
Yeah, and it's what you want to see just in terms of, it's kind of the fundamentals that every team, even all the way down to kind of Little League, teaches. You want a little mix of small ball here and there, some sharp line drives, and then the key power guys to come in and drive them in. And we got a whole taste of that, including those couple home runs that we got to see, which was a nice treat for us down on the field and here in the booth, and everyone who was in attendance at the field.
Absolutely. We saw some small ball, like you mentioned, some stolen bases, some hit and runs employed by Majors manager Roop Chandrat. He does not hesitate to use those for his team's success. Now, on the other side, the Brantford Red Sox come to town here today. The Red Sox coming off an 8-34 season last year, Justin, looking to bounce back here in 2024.
Well, they definitely still have a whole bunch of good pieces on their team, even though they had a like you said, kind of rougher season last year, including Rookie of the Year, Matthew Fabian, who had a great season last year. During the regular season, hit .406 with 54 hits, 15 RBIs, and he's quick, too, had 9 stolen bases. Not quite a power bat, but a very good contact bat-to-ball hitter for their team.
Yeah, Fabian didn't put up much power numbers, like you mentioned, only the 1 home run last year for him, but at the top of the order, really setting the tone, got on base a lot, and that's huge for a team, isn't it?
That's the definition of what you want in a leadoff hitter. So it's they're definitely looking forward to getting some more action out of him this year.
Well, we will take a look now at the pitching matchup presented by Throw, London's original knife throwing. In today's ball game, it'll be Jose Arias on the mound for the Majors, making his return to the Majors pinstripes after not appearing last season, but was tremendously successful, as you see on your screen, in 2022.
Had some great numbers, too. Led the league in strikeouts with 132, which is just crazy to see, especially in the IBL. Only gave up 33 walks, too, so very, very good command when it comes to pitchers. And played in 15 games, 14 starts, and was just everything that London was looking for in an ace back in 22.
Absolutely he was, and it's going to be a bit of a bullpen day for the Brantford Red Sox. On the other side, it is Gabe Bruder getting the start for Brantford in today's ball game.
Arguably his best season last year, had a .553 earned run average in 12 games. Pitched 13 innings, had 9 strikeouts and 6 walks, and only gave up 19 hits. I'd say it was his best season. When it comes to strikeout numbers, back in 22, had a little bit better, 19 strikeouts, 17 walks, but a .955 earned run average. Yeah,
the Red Sox are going to be looking for a good start here from Gabe Bruder. The Majors will see the 2 import arms for London today, Jose Arias and Victor Payano, both slated to pitch in this afternoon's contest. We'll see Braden Farrington get some work as well. We might see a junior arm getting some action later on in the ball game, and we'll see lots of changes once again. Roop Chandrat kept us on our toes yesterday, Justin, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, most certain. Definitely kept it a bit exciting. And it is an exhibition game, so it's a little to be expected, but it's always nice to throw in some curveballs.
We're going to take a quick break, take a look at the Brantford lineup after that. This has been the pregame show presented by BP8 Fitness, functional strength training for every body.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ithrow.ca.
Anthem complete. We are ready for action here at the Forks of the Thames between the Majors and the Brantford Red Sox in the second of two exhibition games for the London Majors this season. Glad to be with you on this Sunday afternoon. Justin, we were worried about the rain, but it has stayed away, and it is a gorgeous day for baseball.
We were definitely worried both days. We had the same kind of feeling yesterday. We had a bunch of overcast roll in, and today, even before the game, we were a little on our toes, so to speak, but it looks like it's all going to be a lovely ball game.
Let's take a look now at the starting lineup for the Brantford Red Sox in this contest. The Red Sox are going to bat 11 today. It's an exhibition game, so trying to get as many people in as possible.
Yes, so starting lineup for them. We'll start off in right field with Matthew Fabian. Then at second and shortstop, Gus Wilson. Jeremy Video at catcher. Nick Burdett, first base. DH today will be Evan Ryan. And in center field, we'll have Ethan Paulos. Third base, Kieran Bowles. Left field, Tyler Wilson. Second base, Jarrett Lupton. And as we've mentioned, pitching today to get the start is Gabe Bruder.
The number 10 and 11 hitters for the Brantford Red Sox in this game will be Landon Zaire and Roger Keane. We only have 9 slots on our starting lineup graphic, so we're unable to bring you the number 10 and 11 hitters, but they are in the lineup, and they will likely slot in around the field throughout the ball game. We'll probably see Brad Verhoeven come in to catch for an inning or two, just like we saw yesterday, Justin, getting Eduardo De Olio off of his feet. Unlimited substitutions in this game. The umpires won't be too stringent with that. The umpires for today's game are Rob Stevenson behind the plate. In the field, it'll be Justin Snively and Steve Cochran. Both guys were working the game yesterday, and we saw a little bit of flip-flopping, so they may just be getting their rotations in as well early on. You get a look at Jose Arias, today's starting pitcher for London. A huge arm to have back with the ball club.
Oh, it's going to be spectacular, and it's just going to add another bit of confidence to the team who had a bit of a down year last year. So having another key guy come back into the rotation is going to set everybody up for success across the board.
One of the big problems for the Majors last season, and one of the reasons that they struggled at times, was inconsistent pitching. And what Jose Arias provides is a guy who is a known quantity. He is an ace. You know what you're going to get every single time out from Jose Arias, and it should be a big asset for the Majors to have not only Arias but also Victor Payano, who we're going to see later today.
Exactly, and consistency is key in this sport. When you can rely on a guy to not only just pitch well, but to hit the strike zone consistently and not walk a lot of guys either, it gives not only your hitters some confidence when they get up into the batting zone, but it gives the defense a little bit of a sense of relief too. It takes a little bit of pressure off their shoulders.
So Jose Arias steps behind the mound and gets his thoughts collected as he will face Matthew Fabian to lead things off in the top of the first inning. Fabian, as we mentioned off the top, the 2023 Intercounty Baseball League Rookie of the Year with a stellar batting average of .406, a contact hitter who can put the ball in play, and we'll see how Arias fares as he gets set to get us underway. Into the windup he goes. The first pitch of the ball game on this beautiful Sunday from Labatt Park is thrown at 3:09 p.m. and misses just high to Matthew Fabian for ball one.
Hard not to get excited about baseball. I know these are just the exhibition games for us, but
Fabian puts that in play on the ground towards second base. Gibson Krasminski fields it. He'll throw it over to Caden Cardoso at first, and there's one gone in the top of the first inning.
that's the start you want to see. If you're the London Majors and if you're any fans here in the ballpark, that's the exact note you want to get off on. High average guy getting him out right off the get-go.
So Gus Wilson will step into the batter's box here for the Brantford Red Sox. Wilson played 36 games last year, hit .352 for Brantford. Arguably the top two hitters in the Brantford lineup are their best hitters. Arias into the windup. Here's the pitch. That one just misses according to the home plate umpire. 1-0. One of the things I'm watching for in this game, Justin, is how Jose Arias and Eduardo De Olio work together. De Olio was with the Majors last season, but he was not with the team in 2022 when Arias was with the ball club. It's the first time the two are working together in game action as Wilson fouls that one off, and certainly they're going to have to get used to each other's styles.
Well, and we're going to have the taste of one coming from the season with a bit more success, one coming from a bit more down season, kind of wanting something to prove a little bit more in this season. And I think having those two personalities in the rotation will really start to complement each other as we get going in the season.
Arias works into the windup here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one will miss high to Gus Wilson for ball 2. In speaking with Majors manager Roop Chandradat this week about his ball club, he was very complimentary of Jose Arias. He says he really sets the tone for the rest of the rotation. He's tremendously professional. He goes about his work in a very consistent and determined way. As that one is cut on and missed by Wilson, it's 2-2. A lot of maybe inexperienced arms with the Majors this year, and having a guy like Arias around allows them to model their game and their preparation after somebody who's had success at multiple levels. Arias, of course, pitched in the minor leagues with both the Cubs and the Marlins systems. Wilson skies this one on the infield. Cardoso working into foul territory. Arias there as well. It'll be the first baseman, Caden Cardoso, making the catch for the second out at the top of the first.
Well, and for those who don't know, too, Arias actually made his way around a couple different leagues during the offseason and throughout last year, too. Everywhere from Nicaragua to Colombia even, pitching around a little bit, getting some experience at different parts of the world before now, as we know, coming back to London and with the Majors.
So that'll bring up Jeremy Veilleux. Veilleux has been around the Intercounty Baseball League since 2021, has played 108 games. Native of Oakville, Ontario, attended McMaster University. First pitch from Jose Arias on the way. Breaking ball drops in there nicely for a strike.
We've already been able to see a nice bit of mix-up of pitches, too, already within the first, within a couple batters. Like you just mentioned, nice breaking ball just to get into the zone.
That one's scorched in the hole. It'll get through, and the Brantford Red Sox are into the hit column as Jeremy Veilleux turns that breaking ball into a hard single. IBL veteran Nick Burdett now digging into the batter's box here for the Brantford Red Sox. Burdett, a big power bat, playing first base today. He'll likely take some innings off as well as the Red Sox try to rotate some of their younger players in this defensive alignment. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Burdett, 0-1.
Could feel the breeze on that swing up here. That was a mean swing right there.
Arias readies on the rubber. Veilleux takes his lead over at first base. Here's the pitch. Inside, skips in. Deolio blocks it and will keep it close to hold Veilleux at first base.
Defense looking sharp. Didn't really see a lot of signs of wanting to steal right there from Brantford.
Veilleux, of course, the catcher over at first base. Arias sets on the rubber. Offering on its way. That one high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Burdett, a slightly open stance. Looks out at the big Jose Arias, standing 6'5" out there on the mound. Here's the 2-1 home. Burdett gets a piece, fouls it back towards the screen. Found actually the gap in the netting for the door and goes into the crowd. It's a foul ball.
We had one bit of excitement yesterday where one of the balls came through the netting in our direction up here, just to keep us on our toes a little bit too.
Yeah, that was a scary moment for Ty and I up here. That was terrifying. I was worried that it was going to come shooting right back at us. I told Ty he was going to have to be sharp. That's your job today, Justin.
There we go. We can never get too comfortable.
2-2 on its way. Breaking ball doesn't catch the plate, and it's 3-2 now on Nick Burdett. Runner will be moving on the pitch here on 3-2 with 2 out. But you're going to get a head start as Burdett settles into the batter's box. Arias trying to pitch his way out of this first inning. He'll set out there on the rubber. The full count offering. In the air. Shallow. It'll be Victor Plaz on the infield making the catch, and the side is retired in the top of the first inning. Just the one base runner allowed by Jose Arias, the single for Jeremy Veilleux.
And exactly what you want to see. 4 up, 4 down. Given just the one run there, It's not, or the one hit there, so not too shabby. Everyone's pleased with that. Get the defense a little bit active, pitching-wise. We're getting into it. And still some good at-bats from Brantford.
Absolutely there were, and that's exactly what Jose Arias needs right now. You know you're going to get quality pitching out of the Majors right-hander, but he's got to see some competitive at-bats, and the Brantford Red Sox provided that in that first inning. Still looking for the first strikeout for Jose Arias of this ball game. Let's take a look now at the lineup that will be faced by Gabe Bruder, the Brantford Red Sox. Victor Plaz slides into the leadoff spot, but overall not too many changes in the order from yesterday's lineup, Justin.
No, it's fairly similar, and I think realistically, if we're looking at this as 2 exhibition games in a row, as we're looking towards getting the season started in just a little bit, realistically this might be the general makeup of what we can expect from the lineup going forward.
Absolutely it is. Plaz leading off. Gibson Krasminski in the 2-hole once again. Eduardo De Olio bats third. Byron Reichstein slots in the cleanup spot today. He was not in the lineup yesterday, but is batting cleanup in this afternoon's affair. Starling Joseph drops down to 5th. Cleveland Brownlee batting 6th, the designated hitter. Tommy Reyes Cruz batting 7th. He's the shortstop. Caden Cardoso, the second man to go deep yesterday. The first baseman batting 8th, and Champ Garner, who was leading off yesterday, bats 9th today, all in support of Jose Arias. The Majors offense showed some real signs of life yesterday, Justin, and looking to build off of that here today.
Exactly, and we're going to see more. I think we're going to see a little bit more excitement today, too. We're going to definitely see a bit more excitement in terms of the base paths, just because these are exhibition games. Teams can kind of mess around, as we know, in terms of lineups and that construction, too. But we might see a little bit of excitement here today.
Should be a fun contest. Kieran Bowles chatting over at third base with Majors third base coach Brent Wales. Bowles, of course, a former London Major, caught the final out of the Majors 2022 championship game. Gabe Bruder on the mound. We looked at his stats earlier on. Successful season last year, you would say, Justin. Probably one of his better appearances in the IBL.
Yeah, I'd definitely say so. Definitely slipped into a little bit more of a reliever role last year versus that of a starter. As I said, appeared in 12 games, pitched 13 innings, 9 strikeouts, 6 walks, 19 hits, 553 earned run average. So realistically, he might be hoping to drop that down a little bit as we head into the season this year, but he's definitely got the potential. 42
career games for Bruder in the Intercounty Baseball League, only 5 of them start. So this is something that's a little bit more uncommon for him, the native of Burford, Ontario. He actually played in the Western Ontario Senior Hockey League in 2022-2023 for the Plattsville Lakers, Justin. I discovered that in doing my research on Gabe Bruder today. So a multi-sport athlete by the looks of it will be on the mound for the Brantford Red Sox. The right-hander gets his final warm-up toss in. Throw from Jeremy Veilleux skips into second base, and we are nearly set for action. Victor Plaz sliding into the leadoff spot. He was batting 6th yesterday, went deep. And do you like this move, Justin, from Majors manager Roop Channerdat?
I think so. I think it sets the table early, getting one of those kind of power bats right off the get-go. For any Blue Jays fans at home, we see that quite a bit in George Springer. So kind of same way that you want your ace on the mound to get the game started going really well pitching-wise, you want to kind of do the same thing in terms of your lineup construction as well. So oftentimes you'll see some of your best hitters in the 1 and 2 position in the lineup.
So Plaz is ready into the windup rocks. Gabe Bruder, first pitch of his ball game, is on the corner for strike 1. Plaz thought the first offering was outside. Bruder rocking back and delivering once more. In on the hands of Victor Plaz. He'll send that one towards the first base grandstand. It will bounce in and then skip over, so no fans in the grandstand get that souvenir.
And good attendance here today. I'm excited to see how things will end up looking during the home opener on the 17th. I think it'll be a really, really good showing. London always has been an incredible supporter for the London Majors.
That breaking ball just off the plate outside. Plaz was tempted, thought it was a little too far out, and the umpire agreed. 1-2 count. Plaz on the defensive here early. From the windup, the 1-2 from Bruder. That one's low, and it's 2-2. Plaz went deep in his first at-bat yesterday, getting things going pretty quickly with his new ball club.
Well, and it's nice to see the good plate approach as well. Already 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some people, especially in these early games, get a little bit antsy.
Popped up on the infield. Chasing after it, Lupton and Burdett. It'll be the first baseman, Burdett, making the catch, and there's one gone in the bottom of the first inning.
And again, maybe not the result he wanted, but I like the plate approach and the plate discipline there.
Plaz saw 5 pitches in that first plate appearance of this contest. Gibson Krasminski will step into the batter's box now for London. Krasminski had a long double yesterday that I thought might leave the yard, but it ended up hitting the fence and staying in the ballpark. We'll see what he has in store for us here. As Bruder into the windup he goes. A breaking ball to start off. Krasminski misses low.
Yeah, it was down field side for that long, sharp drive to the outfield. I think all of us over on the third base line stood up waiting for it to be a homer and then saw it stay in the ballpark yesterday, so kept us on our toes.
Here comes the 1-0. Well high, 2 balls and no strikes. We saw a couple of balls that looked like they were going to head out of the yard that ended up staying in. One off the bat of Krasminski, as mentioned. One off the bat of Josh Williams for Hamilton as well. He thought it was gone, that's for sure, and it wound up hitting the bottom of the fence in right field.
Gives you a lot of optimism for the season.
The 2-0 home, swing and a miss by Krasminski. Big swing, but lots of movement on that pitch from Bruder, and he comes up empty. We're also going to keep our eye on the Western Conference final matchup in the Ontario Hockey League between the London Knights and the Saginaw Spirit. That one misses to Krasminski. It's 1-0 London right now with 8:17 left in the second. Who else but OHL MVP Easton Cowan to score that goal?
To no one's surprise.
Absolutely. 3-1 on its way to Krasminski. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Justin, last year we actually had the chance to interview Easton Cowan at the ballpark when he threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Always good to chat with him.
Can't really find too many better people, especially at this time of year when the hockey season kind of meets up with the baseball season, to give off a first pitch like that.
Absolutely. Here's the pitch on the ground towards third. Stepping back on it is Bulls. He gathers and fires to first. A high throw, but Nick Burdett is able to haul it in, and there's 2 gone.
And yeah, what a great time to be a London sports fan in general, being able to take in at one point some of the London Knights and their action, the exciting season that they've had, and now we get to slowly transition into some Majors baseball.
Not only that, but if I'm not mistaken, the London Lightning won their championship not long ago, whether it was last year or the year prior. I'm not 100% sure, but the Lightning were champions recently, so lots of good sports action around the city. Eduardo Deolio into the batter's box for the first time today. Here's the pitch on its way from Gabe Bruder. Deolio skies it, foul territory. Jeremy Veilleux will give it a look, and it is out of play, foul. Bounces over top of us, and Justin, I've got a reputation of being scared by those quite often.
Hey, in some cases, how could you not? Calling them pretty fast is a bit of an understatement when they're coming right in your direction.
That one, luckily, not right above us, more so towards the other side of the press box. But still scary nonetheless. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Deolio as that pitch misses there. Into the windup goes Bruder. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, Deolio off the end of the bat. It's a foul ball, and it's 1-2.
And Deolio, definitely one of the key bats in our lineup, batting .333 last season. Hit 13 home runs, so definitely considered one of the power bats on the team to drive in some runs.
Mentioned it yesterday, had a 4 home run game in Kitchener last year, just displaying all the pop that he's got in his bat. Here comes the 1-2 home. Deolio fouls that one off, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Should Deolio extend the inning, the big bat of Byron Reichstein would be next. From the windup, here comes the 1-2 home. Breaking ball, Deolio just did get a piece, and he will stay alive once more.
Anything you can do to extend the inning a little bit, just to get a bit more pitches on that pitcher's arm, try and get right into the bullpen early. Best approach you can have as a hitter.
Bruder at 16 pitches right now through 2/3 of an inning. No action in the Brantford bullpen up to this point. Here comes the 1-2. Up and in on Deolio with the fastball, 2-2. And Justin, we're not really too sure what to expect from Gabe Bruder in this game. We don't know if he's going to go multiple innings, if he's going to be a 1-inning guy. By the looks of it, with nobody getting loose, I think he's going to at least get the second here.
I definitely think so, too. Again, one of those instances where we in the press box are definitely kept a bit on our toes of what to expect for some of these exhibition games.
2-2 on its way. That one just off the plate. Bruder thought he had strike 3. So did the majority of the Brantford defense. And we'll try again here now on 3-2. Full count, 2 out. Eduardo Deolio in the batter's box. Gabe Bruder trying to put him away. Here comes the payoff pitch. On the ground, right back up the middle. Moving to his left is Gus Wilson. He'll scoop it up near the bag. Throw to first is in time to get Deolio. And Gabe Bruder sets down the Majors in the bottom of the first. 1, 2, 3. We're through 1 complete here from Labatt Park. We will take a quick break and be right back. You're watching the Majors and Red Sox live on Majors TV.
Hello, my name is Jim Nutter with Nutters the Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Back now at Labatt Park. The second inning about to get underway between the Majors and the Brantford Red Sox. Jose Arias heads back onto the mound for London. And Justin, we were told before the game that Arias projected to go 2 innings. Him and Victor Payano will probably see 2 innings each. But really, those guys can dictate how long they go. If their arm's feeling good, we might see them pitch a little bit longer.
Exactly. For the Majors, this is the equivalent of their spring training. So similarly to what you'd see in Major League Baseball, you got to kind of stretch out your arms a little bit just so you make sure you don't get any of those injuries right off the bat to get the season going. So you never want them to pitch a whole ton, but you want to get them to play enough that they start to feel comfortable as the season gets going.
We saw Daniel Gore and Travis Keys both go 3 innings each yesterday, and then it was 1 inning for Jonathan Henry, Pedro de los Santos, as well as Skylar Janice to close things out. So really, it could be anything for Arias here as he gets in to his second inning of work now. DeOlio with the throw down to second base to get us underway. It'll be Evan Ryan to lead things off in the second frame, followed by Ethan Paulos and Kieran Bowles, the former London Major. Bowles and Arias were teammates in 2022, but for now it's Evan Ryan stepping in.
So last year, Evan Ryan hit 107, struck out 16 times, had 4 walks. Off of 6 hits in 56 appearances. So he's definitely looking to improve a little bit this season for Brantford, just generally on the up and up there.
Into the windup rocks Jose Arias. First pitch to Evan Ryan is on the outside corner for strike 1. Ryan, a former member of the Brantford Junior Red Sox, had an average over 300 in their championship season in 2022, hit .337 as he fouls that one straight back to the screen. Ryan is a native of Brantford, hometown kid.
Would you like to see? London definitely has a few of those on the team. It's nice to be local, you know?
Absolutely. No balls, 2 strikes. Jose Arias looks in for the sign, now rocks into the windup. Here's the offering on its way as he searches his first strikeout. Did he go? No, says first base umpire Justin Snively, and it's 1-2.
It's good to see just how competitive a lot of these pitches have been so far. You could see him take a pretty good hack almost at the swing, able to hold back.
The 1-2 is in the dirt, and it is 2 balls and 2 strikes now from Arias. Still in search of his first strikeout of the ball game. Arias gets the sign he wants from DeOlio and delivers the 2-2 pitch. Ryan fouls that one off, and the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good battle being put up for Ryan. Last year, he had 4 walks and 16 strikeouts in 27 games. Overall, the strikeout number not too concerning. 16 strikeouts, 27 games, not too bad. You'd like to see the walk number come up a little bit, though.
That's always what you're looking for, especially if you're allowing that many strike calls to come in. You definitely kind of want the walks to get up there, too, just to kind of balance it out.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Arias from the windup delivers the pitch on its way, and it is fouled straight back to the screen again. Good at bat being put together by Evan Ryan right now.
And it looks like defensively, they have him a little bit shifted to play towards right field. You can see Starling Joseph over in left, almost playing a little bit more towards left center than straight in left. So it shows a little bit of what they're kind of expecting during this at-bat.
2-2 once more from Arias. Breaking ball. Did he go? Yes, he did this time, says the first base umpire. Strike 3 for Jose Arias, his first strikeout of the young season, though it is still an exhibition play.
Exactly, but that's exactly what he wants to see. And I think for him, that's going to be a big confidence booster in his first technical game out on the mound. Because I think a lot of expectations, even from us here in the booth, for his potential for strikeout numbers going into the season.
So Ethan Paulos will step into the batter's box now for the Brantford Red Sox. Paulos, the center fielder today. In there for strike 1 of the first offering from Arias. The 0-1 home. That one just misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Arias looks in, gets the sign he wants from DeOlio, and delivers the 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. That one is low. 2-1.
Starting to see a good patch of sun come out today, which is lovely to see.
Absolutely. It was overcast for the bulk of the morning, but the sun's come out as the afternoon's progressed. 3 balls and 1 strike now the count on Paulos, and a good hitter's count here, but Arias can certainly work his way back. Arias up at 26 pitches through an inning and a third. Here comes the 3-1 home. That one finds the zone, and it's 3-2.
Another full count. We've seen that a few times already to get the ball game going, so good approach from both teams so far.
Here comes the 3-2 home on the ground. That one is fouled off and played by the third base coach for the Brantford Red Sox. Count remains 3-2. Red Sox managed by Ken Lupton this season. Took over mid-season last year. Was very successful with the junior Red Sox for a number of years. Here comes the 3-2 home. On the ground towards third base. Victor Plaz waits on it. Makes the throw to first, caught by Cardoso, and there's 2 gone. Good play by Victor Plaz over at third base, reeling that one in, delivering a strong throw to first. Plaz will see the bulk of his action at the corner infield spots, and Majors manager Roop Chandidat told me before the game today he was pretty impressed with the defensive performance from Plaz yesterday. He had a couple of on-the-run throws, nice plays over at third as Kieran Bowles digs into the box.
And tougher day defensively just in general as we got going because of just how blinding that sun sort of got as the game progressed, which I don't think many of us were expecting.
Kieran Bowles skies this one high in the air into the Bermuda Triangle out in right field, but tracking it down is Gibson Krasminski. He makes the catch, and the side is retired, so the Brantford Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the top of the second inning.
That's exactly what Arias wants. Had a bit of a tough time with the one batter there, but getting 3 up, 3 down in any case is exactly what you want to see, just to start eating into that lineup.
Arias finished the second inning at 29 pitches, and there is action now in the Majors bullpen. Victor Payano, the big lefty, is starting to get loose. This is kind of what we expected, Justin. We mentioned it off the top of the second inning that it was likely going to be 2 for Arias. You see Payano getting loose. No shortage of height for these Majors on the mound. Payano 6'5", Arias 6'5", 2 really, really big guys that throw some heat from 2 different sides.
Well, and it keeps the lineup on their toes, especially when you're trying to have kind of looking in both directions. If they have any breaking balls, off-speed stuff, they're going to start going in different directions too, so it changes up how they have to approach their at-bats. And yeah, just colossal guys on the mound, which just adds the little bit to the intimidation factor if you're the batter a tad bit.
Absolutely it does. We'll see what Payano has in store. The Majors hoping for some strikes from their import arm. Last year they had a hard time with some of their arms that they brought into the Majors from outside of Canada with throwing strikes. There were a lot of walks that were from their import pitchers, and that was the big struggle for the pitching staff last year. The reality is you can throw as hard as you want, but if you're not around the zone, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a big difference between control and command, too. Command kind of comes down to putting the ball where you want directly in the zone versus control, which is just kind of getting it in the zone in the first place. But both of those are dependent on getting the ball to the strike zone in the first place, which can be a big problem in some cases.
Well, the guy who didn't have a problem with finding the strike zone in the first inning was Gabe Bruder, and he's back out there for a second inning of work through 19 pitches in the first frame. There is action in the Brantford Red Sox bullpen, so this will likely be the last inning for Bruder, which is kind of to be expected, right? He's more so a reliever than he is a starter, so 2 innings feels just about right.
Yeah, not too much of a shock up here, and all things said and done, pretty efficient in the first inning. 19 pitches. We're going to see how he plays out in the bottom of the second here, but like you mentioned, not surprising at all.
They'll have a tough test in the bottom of the second. It'll be Byron Reichstein, Starling Joseph, Cleveland Brownlee. This Majors lineup is dangerous, really 1 through 9. Lots of power all throughout, and we'll see what Reichstein has in store. It's his first at-bat of exhibition play, was not in the lineup yesterday, but getting into the game here, playing right field this afternoon. First pitch to him is a breaking ball that drops in there for strike 1.
And Reichstein, definitely one of the key bats in the lineup. OPS is one of my favorite stats across baseball. For those who don't know, on base plus slugging, kind of a combined hitting metric. And he was definitely one of the top guys for the London Majors last season with a 945 OPS. Usually good batters will be anywhere from about 750.
Reichstein lines this one right back up the middle, and that'll be a base hit for the Majors. Their first hit of the ball game. Outfield was kind of playing Byron to pull, and he went right back up the middle, and Paulos couldn't get there.
And he's doing exactly what you kind of want him to do, getting bat to the ball, getting on base, setting the tone for the rest of this Majors lineup.
So that'll bring up the big bat of Starling Joseph here, batting 5th in today's lineup for the Majors, playing left field. Good applause here for Starling. The fans know him. He's a fun-loving guy, loves to dance out there on the field, and he's got lots of pop. I think back to last Canada Day when he hit a ball straight back to center field, probably deeper than I've ever seen anybody hit it, just dead center, and that's something that Starling is able to do, and probably only Starling is able to do.
Well, he's just a fun guy. When I was just down on the third base side over by their dugout yesterday, always talking, always having fun.
Joseph drives this one to center field. Moving back on it, Paulos towards the warning track, still tracking back, and he hauls this one in. A long run for the Brantford center fielder, but Joseph flies out, and there's one gone in the bottom of the second inning.
Always a tough part of the ballpark to hit it to, especially when it's 402 feet dead center, 330 over on the ends. Sometimes just get a bit unlucky on where the ball gets going.
You angle that swing somewhere else, it's possible it gets out of the yard, but not to be in dead center field with 402 like you mentioned, Justin. Not very many hitters can get it out of the ballpark at the deepest part of the yard in Labatt. It's the deepest park in the Intercounty Baseball League. Welland is pretty deep to center field as well, but I believe they're at an even 400 to dead center, whereas the Majors are at 402. That'll bring up Cleveland Brownlee, the seasoned vet for the Majors, looking for a bounce-back year in 2024. Had an RBI single to kick off the scoring in yesterday's affair. Brownlee sends that one in the air to left. Not overly deep. Charging in is Tyler Wilson after initially breaking back. He'll make the catch and record the second out of the bottom of the second inning.
Cleveland's always one of the ones on the team that you'll get the loudest applause for. Whenever you're at a Majors game, it's always going to be tons of clapping. One stat we might want to keep track of is just the decibel level of claps and how this audience gets when he gets up to bat.
Well, we'll see it in full effect once the regular season gets underway rather than just the exhibition. Obviously, you can see on your screen there's plenty of room to sit behind the plate. There's no shortage of space back there, but it will fill up once the regular season gets underway. Tommy Reyes-Cruz. Nope, Caden Cardoso into the batter's box. Cardoso and Reyes-Cruz flipped in the order from what we had originally seen. That one misses high for ball 1. Cardoso went yard yesterday for his first home run in a Majors uniform. Reichstein on at first, takes a short lead, 2 out in the inning. That one misses. Quick throw from Bayou is in the dirt. It'll get past Nick Burdett, and Byron Reichstein going to try to move up to second base here, and he will get in there standing up.
Great heads-up play, and that's exactly what you want to do is force the ball into play in any sort of way, shape, and form, even though he might not have stolen second on that base. Just kind of creating a little bit of excitement on the base paths, gets that ball in play, allows an error like that to happen, and now he's on second base.
Interesting there from Vayu throwing that one down towards first base because he had been spiking a lot of his throws in warm-ups to second. Tried to pick Byron off over at first after the secondary and threw it in the dirt. Burdette couldn't handle it. It will be an error. We'll see if it's on the catcher or on the first baseman. I would assume it's on Vayu as that one finds the corner 1-1.
Suddenly it's a very different at-bat. Having a runner in scoring position really changes up just exactly how the pitcher has to approach the game, how the batter has to approach the game, just completely changes the at-bat.
The count is 2 balls and 1 strike here. It was the second ball that Vayu threw over on. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, 3-1 now on Cardoso. Cardoso with an OPS over with a slugging percentage over 800 last year. His OPS well over 1.3. Here's the 3-1 home. That one drops in there, and it's 3-2.
When your slugging percentage is as high as a lot of guys' combined OBS, which is on base plus slugging, you know you're doing well in the sport.
Absolutely. Full count, 2 out. Caden Cardoso at the plate. Byron Reichstein in scoring position at second. Bruder readies on the rubber. The payoff pitch on its way. Cardoso checked his swing. Did he go? No, he did not, says Steve Cochran, the third base umpire. It's ball 4 to Cardoso, and he will work a 2-out walk.
And now that's 2 on as we bring up Tommy Reyes-Cruz.
Reyes-Cruz steps into the batter's box here. Don't believe he recorded a hit yesterday, and it's a little tough to track some stats. They're not being tracked online for these exhibition games, so just trying to base it off of memory for the most part, Justin.
Just to make sure we're paying attention, you know?
Absolutely. So 2 on, 2 out for Reyes-Cruz here, a guy who did some damage last year with the majors. Pitch on its way, off the plate outside for ball 1. Bruder up at 31 pitches. Looks like the arm of the Brantford bullpen is ready, should they need him. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Floats in there, strike 1.
That's what he wanted to see. He was starting to get a few of those breaking balls kind of down and away consistently. We saw the few times now, a couple down in the dirt. So just the confidence that it gives you of getting one pitch right back into the strike zone.
1-1 home. Another breaking ball. Another strike from Gabe Bruder, and it's 1-2. Certainly not hesitating to throw that spinner.
No, definitely not. Reyes-Cruz just looking to capitalize a little bit on the 2 base runners on base right now.
1-2 count, 2 out. Reichstein in scoring position here. Cardoso on at first. That breaking ball is cut on and missed for strike 3. Good placement from Bruder. Got it in on the hands. Reyes-Cruz comes up empty. The Majors yet to get on the scoreboard after 2 innings of play. You're watching Brantford and London on MajorsTV. New arm on the mound here for the Majors as we get the third inning underway. It is the big lefty, Victor Payano. Justin, with lots of professional experience.
Well, and yeah, and he began his career back in 2010 as a 17-year-old in predominantly the Rangers organization. In 2015, he made 102 starts in the minors and reached Double-A Frisco. At that level in 2016, he went 7-6 with a 4.05 ERA and 96 strikeouts in 100 innings. So he definitely has a good amount of service time in professional baseball. Looking to bring a whole bunch of his talents over to London with the Majors.
Payano reached as high as Triple-A. 711 career minor league strikeouts. So Majors manager Roop Chandradat hoping that he will be a dangerous arm in this Majors pitching staff. He will throw to Eduardo De Olio here. De Olio's caught every inning up to this point. We'll see if there's a little switch to come. And I'm really excited to see what we get here from Victor Payano.
Well, and one of his biggest things that he mentioned is that he's just looking for effort across the board. He says that he is willing to give 100% towards this ball club, but he also expects his teammates to match that energy too. So I think it'll be a great person to just have in the clubhouse to kind of raise everyone's confidence and to kind of raise just how well they're playing across both the hitters and the pitchers.
I talked when Arias was on the rubber about his professionalism and his demeanor around the ball club. Payano the same way. I don't know if you saw yesterday, Justin, pregame when we were on the field chatting with Majors manager Roop Chandradat, but Jose Arias and Victor Payano both doing their sprints along the warning track, both getting their work in because they knew they were going to be pitching today and wanted to be ready to go for their first outings of the season. Payano will face 8, 9, and 10 for the Red Sox. It'll be Tyler Wilson, Jared Lupton, and Landon Zaire due up for Brantford. Double-barreled action in the Majors bullpen. Jose Arias throwing a few more pitches just to wrap up the amount that he wanted to throw today. And Jacob Foster, the lefty, getting loose as well. That one lined straight back up the middle on the first pitch, and Champ Garner comes in. Did he catch it? Waiting for the signal, he did. A great grab by Champ Garner on a slide, coming in hard from center field.
That's the defensive effort you want to see, and his speed definitely becomes a factor on a lot of not just the hitting side and the base running side, but also defensive plays just like that, getting to the ball that maybe not every center fielder would be able to actually get to.
Absolutely. That line drive sinking quickly, and Champ Garner was able to reach the glove out in a slide and make the catch. And now Ken Lupton, the Red Sox manager, is going to come out here and talk to third base umpire Steve Cochran. He's asking maybe if Justin Snively, the first base umpire, had a better view of that baseball, because he believes, Lupton does, that it was trapped by Champ Garner. And doesn't look like the umpires will allow that appeal, so Lupton will have to go back towards the dugout, talking things over with Payano out there on the mound right now.
Not terribly surprising to see a move like that happen. At the end of the day, these are exhibition games, but you really do still just want your team to win, especially when it comes to managers and close plays like that. It might not technically on paper mean a lot, some of these games, but to all the players, to all the staff, these still mean a lot.
That'll bring up Jared Lupton on the ground in foul territory. It'll hop over the glove of Cardoso, but luckily it doesn't matter because it's a foul ball and it's 0-1. Lupton, the starting second baseman in the ball game today. Home plate umpire Rob Stevenson will go out and give a new baseball to Victor Payano. Payano seems in good spirits, chatting up the Red Sox manager and the home plate umpire. Stevenson left with a smile on his face. 0-1 the count here on Lupton. The offering from Payano on its way. In the air, foul territory. Giving chase there is the third baseman Plaz, but he will watch this one get into the crowd. It's a foul ball.
You mentioned Payano and how happy he seems, definitely being just over by their dugout side. It's a great relationship, great rapport across the whole team so far. Even from the little brief moments that we were able to see them yesterday just over in the dugout, tons of fun, cracking a whole bunch of jokes too, and that's the rapport you want to see in a team.
No balls, 2 strikes the count, 1 out. Here's the offering on its way. Breaking ball from Payano, lots of movement on it, but it didn't quite drop enough, and it's 1-2.
I just got to say that is one of my favorite pitches that a pitcher can do is a little breaking ball, trying to get the top of the zone just to kind of drop in. It's one of the little niche things about pitching that I adore to see.
Didn't quite catch the top of the zone there. Trying to put Lupton away here on 1-2. He'll foul that one off and stay alive. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Payano working to Lupton. He will set out there on the rubber and deliver. On the ground towards first base, Cardoso knocks it down with a backhand. Going to be a tough play. Payano covering. It's not in time. Lupton beats it out. We'll see the scoring on that one, but either way, the Red Sox have a base runner.
One of those moments where maybe they didn't get the outcome that they wanted, but still able to knock the ball down, keep it in front of him. If that gets behind him, could be a whole lot worse for the team right now. Absolutely.
It'll be a base hit there for Jared Lupton as Cardoso knocked it down, couldn't quite make the play, and there's a runner on with 1 out. For the number 10 hitter, Landon Zaire.
And so again, the lineup is a little bit wonky. We do have 11 batters in for the Brantford lineup today. Kind of goes hand in hand with the exhibition style game that we have today.
First pitch from Payano is in there for a strike. There is a steady breeze here at Labatt Park, picking up at certain moments. We can feel it up here at times.
Yeah, a little brisk at times, too.
Yeah. Hasn't quite played a factor on the field just yet. Here comes the 0-1. In the dirt, blocked by Deolio. Lupton thought about it, but elected to stay over at first base. Has a pretty aggressive lead over there, not passive by any means.
Definitely had a good jump right there if he wanted to try and make that attempt at second, but knows how good of an arm there is behind the plate.
Payano wants a new baseball from the home plate umpire, Rob Stevenson. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on first. Payano ready on the mound. Peeks over at first base, steps off, and fakes a throw over. Gets the sign he wants from Deolio. And delivers. On the move is Lupton. Pitches inside. Throw from Deolio in the dirt. Krasminski couldn't pick it. Luckily, Reyes Cruz there to back it up. But it's going to be a stolen base for Jarrett Lupton. The Red Sox have a runner in scoring position.
It's great positioning by Reyes Cruz to make sure that ball doesn't get into the outfield there. So that could easily turn from a stolen second base to a potential third base there, too.
So now the double play possibility has been taken away. There's a runner in scoring position for Landon Zaire, trying to get the first run of this ball game off of Victor Payano, the big lefty. Payano sets and delivers. Breaking ball, called strike, 2-2. Payano looks in for the sign from Eduardo Deolio, and Reddy's out there on the rubber. Lupton takes his lead off a second, being held on by Krasminski. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Just did miss. Good offering, though, from Payano, and the count runs full.
Another full count for us here. As I've said, we've seen a few of those already in this ball game.
Batters certainly making the pitchers work to get outs in this contest up to this point. Offering on its way here. It is lined into the right center field gap. It will get down and split the outfielders. Around first is Roger Keane, who is at the plate, and he will trot into second with a double. And the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. So that'll go back to the top of the order here. Perhaps the Red Sox are not batting 11. Matt Fabian will step into the batter's box. Roger Keane was batting in the 10 spot there, and now Fabian will come back at the top of the order. So just a little more chaos and confusion.
Again, keeping us on our toes.
Runner in scoring position here, 1 out. Fabian skies that one, foul territory. Reichstein and Cardoso will give chase. It will drop about 3 rows deep on the right field side.
gotten back. Top of the order. It's not a great position to be in for the Majors right now, having some of their arguably best hitters coming up next, and with only one out, we're guaranteed going to be seeing Wilson, and we'll see how it all shapes up from there.
No balls, 1 strike the count. Fabian ready in the batter's box. Payano doesn't like what he's seeing. He'll step off. And we talked about Arias and Deolio getting on the same page. It's taken a while for Payano to deliver his pitches. He's pretty deliberate out there, and perhaps just trying to get on the same wavelength as his catcher Deolio, who he, of course, is also working with for the first time. The 0-1 on its way. Inside, 1-1.
Well, not always. Will take a little bit of time for the pitchers and the catchers to understand each other's kind of sequencing, what they want from the at-bat, because you'll kind of find that some pitchers will get into a slight pattern of how they want their at-bats to go, and it all comes down to their arsenal, kind of what catchers have seen, what they're used to, and then going from there.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Payano ready out there on the rubber. Pitch on its way to Matt Fabian. In there for strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes. Payano trying to record a big second out with a runner in scoring position at second base in Roger Keane. Here's the offering. Breaking ball, hit hard towards third. Plaz picks it up, throws over to Cardoso at first, and there's 2 gone.
Aside from a strikeout, that might have been the best potential outcome you could get, because not only do you get the out at first, but you hold the runner at second too, prevent them from advancing to third, or even a little flyout could score another run for them. So that was probably one of the best outcomes that they could get right there.
Absolutely. Ground ball on the left side keeps the runner at second base. Now 2 away for Gus Wilson. Wilson 0 for 1 in the ball game this afternoon. Popped out in foul territory to Caden Cardoso in his last trip.
Majors looking to strand that runner at second here with just 1 more out remaining.
Here's the pitch from Payano, fouled off by Wilson. Goes a long way down the first base side, but well foul, and it's 0-1. Get a look there at Gus Wilson from our Game Day 11 mobile camera. Payano sets, peeks back at second, and delivers the 0-1 home. That's off the plate, up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Gus Wilson's another one of their fast guys with 9 stolen bases last season. They're hoping to keep him off the base paths as well.
Payano peeks back and delivers the 1-1. In the dirt, blocked by Deolio. 2 balls and 1 strike. Payano going through baseballs like there's no tomorrow out there. He's on ball number 5 or 6, I think, this inning. Pitches in the dirt, foul balls.
He's just looking for the right one.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's what he's looking for.
Listen, it's a comfort thing for pitchers. I don't blame him. 2-1 the count, 2 out. Runner over at second base is Roger Keane. Here's the pitch. Line straight back at the backstop. It is 2-2, and that one did not sneak through the netting. So 2's all over. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner at second base. Gus Wilson trying to cash the Red Sox second run of the inning. Payano looking to prevent it. Comes set on the mound. Here's the 2-2 offering. Breaking ball called strike 3. Payano allows just the 1 run and strands Roger Keane at second base. He's through his first inning of work. It's 1-0 Brantford.
Great looking pitch. Even from up here, we get to see a nice little chunk of the angling on especially some of these off-speed and breaking balls. And looked from us, started out of the zone, came right back in.
Good pitch there from Payano. We give you another little update on the London Knights game in Saginaw. Now, if the Knights win this game, for those who may be unaware, they move on to the Ontario Hockey League Finals if they beat the Spirit here today, and they are leading 2-1 in the third period. Cowan got the goal in the first frame. Then late in the second, it was Joey Willis tying it up for the Saginaw Spirit, and Sam O'Reilly early in the third has put the Knights back ahead. Obviously, we know a big portion of our fan base here on Majors TV our Knights fans as well, so we'll do our best to keep you in the loop. Here at Labatt Park, the Brantford Red Sox take to an early 1-0 lead. Pretty good approach against the big lefty Payano in that inning.
Yeah, exactly. We've already seen a lot of full counts. That just comes down to good plate discipline from these batters. In some cases, it's just trying to measure up just exactly where this pitcher is going to be going, because some kind of get a little bit consistent on location too. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to smart batting over in the batter's box there.
Looks like we may have a new arm on the mound here for the Brantford Red Sox. We'll get you who that is shortly. And that is Landon Zaire, we're told. So Landon Zaire will take over on the mound. Landon Zaire, who is a pitcher. We apologize.
There we go.
It was a little confusing on the lineup card. We'll do our best to walk you through the confusion. Gabe Bruder was circled, and then there was an arrow pointing to Landon Zaire. So we assumed that Zaire was hitting in the 10 spot, but in fact, it might have just been that he was going to take over on the mound after Bruder. So Zaire, who is not officially signed as far as we can tell on the roster, the transactions page downline, on the IBL website, but Landon Zaire will take over, perhaps a junior pitcher. You got anything for us on Landon Zaire, Justin?
I tried looking for a little bit on Landon Zaire, but my search came up a little bit dry. So this might be a little bit exciting for us in the booth, too, being able to just get kind of a first little look at this pitcher here, seeing exactly what they've got in store. With these exhibition games, these teams are still looking to develop not only their lineups, but their rotations and their bullpens as well. So they're wanting to get as many at-bats, as many views from as many different pitchers as they can to try and construct their team in a way that they believe will help them win the season. So that seems to be the case for this team right here.
Landon Zaire will face 9-1-2 in the majors order. Champ Garner, Victor Plaz, and the number 2 hitter Gibson Krasminski due up in this third frame. Garner was batting leadoff yesterday, did not record a hit. Batting ninth here today, and he's the kind of guy that Majors manager Roop Chanadad is probably just going to be swapping between the top spot in the order and the number 9 spot. Lots of speed for Champ Garner, and we'll see if he can get on base to utilize it. Garner digs into the right-handed batter's box, facing the right-hander Landon Zaire. Majors had a tough time against Gabe Bruder, only recorded 1 hit over 2 innings. Bruder had his best stuff. That first pitch misses high with the third baseman Kieran Bowles playing in close, protecting against the bunt.
And Champ Garner is actually a dual citizen between here and the U.S., too, coming from Los Angeles.
That went in there for a strike. Yeah, I was talking to Majors manager Roop Chanadad about that. He told me that Garner was born in Brampton and moved out to California, lived out in California his whole life. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Breaking ball way high, never broke. Goes over the head of Champ Garner there. You got to look at it. The backstop. 2-1 the count.
At any speed, at any pitch that comes generally in your direction as a batter, it's going to keep you on your toes. It might be the slowest pitch in the world, but still going to send 1 or 2 shivers down your spine a little bit.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch on its way. That's off the plate outside. It's 3-1.
So Champ's best year came in 2018 when he hit an impressive .351 on a .462 on-base percentage with 22 RBIs in 93 plate appearances over in South Carolina with the Benedict College Tigers.
That one called a strike on the outside corner. Garner thought it was ball 4 outside. We don't necessarily have the best view up here, Justin, but I thought it was outside too, for the record. Full count to Champ Garner. Pitch on its way. Fouls that one off, stays alive, and we'll try again with a full count.
Yeah, all things considered, us up here in the press booth, we're right behind home plate. So we get generally a pretty good view, but especially on the up and the higher and lower pitches, sometimes it's hard to call.
That one a little further outside to Champ Garner, and it will be ball 4. So Garner reaches base for the Majors and sets the table for the top of the order. Speed on the base paths.
It's exactly what we wanted to see. Garner led off in yesterday's game. He was top of the lineup. One of his biggest things that's come into his game are putting the bat on the ball, being a really good contact hitter, and his speed, racking up a whole lot of stolen bases. So this might have been one of the worst guys that Brantford would want to have on the base paths right now.
So we didn't get to see Champ Garner on the base paths yesterday. We'll see how long it takes for the Majors to put him in motion here with Victor Plaz at the plate. Plaz 0 for 1. Popped out in his first trip. That one in there for a strike. Now, Justin, I may be mistaken on this because this is all off of memory, but I don't think Victor Plaz has hit a ball on the ground yet this exhibition season. Everything was in the air yesterday.
Not that I've seen. I think you're definitely right on that.
I think he flew out a couple times, popped out once, and obviously hit the big home run. Garner looks like he wants to run, so Zaire will throw over, and he's back with a dive.
And it's good. He clearly has a whole lot of power behind him. Kind of launching with a really, really good launch angle, considering he's had most up in the air.
Runner going. Here's the throw from Veilleux. It hits the mound, and Garner in there easily with a stolen base.
And a great slide and almost inevitable. I think we were both kind of predicting that some stolen bases would be attempted here, and Sham Garner is definitely one of the key people that we were expecting to see some stolen bases from today.
A little risky to try to steal third base, but Jeremy Veilleux has struggled with his throws in this ball game, so we'll see if Garner's on the move to third as well at some point. Here's the pitch to Plaz, skied in the air again. This one foul territory. Long run for Nick Burdett, trying to camp under it, and it's the second baseman sliding in. Jared Lupton makes the catch, and there's one gone in the bottom of the third.
And you can see Garner run back to second base, maybe debating making that run over to third, but ultimately still over at second. Thought the ball was still a little too close to him for comfort.
Yeah, long run there for Jared Lupton. Thought maybe it would drop in foul territory. No dice. Gibson Krasminski in the batter's box here for the Majors. Garner on at second. Here's the pitch, cut on and missed by Krasminski, 0-1. Setting on the rubber is there. Here's the pitch on its way. Krasminski cuts at that one and comes up empty. It is no balls and 2 strikes. Majors the runner in scoring position, trying to capitalize here. Garner walked and then stole second base. Victor Plaz flew out. Here's the pitch to Krasminski. Skied in the air, foul territory again. Kieran Bowles with lots of room there makes the catch, and there's 2 gone after 2 pop-outs in foul territory.
Still one in scoring position with DiOlio making his way over towards the batter's box there. Hoping to drive in one to get the Majors on the board.
DiOlio is certainly a guy who can drive home some runs. He's always hitting in the middle of the order. Lots of power on display. He's got Garner with speed at second. It's not going to take much into the outfield to score him, especially with 2 outs when he'll be running on contact. Getting set on the mound is there. He'll peek back at Garner and deliver the first offering. In the dirt, ball 1. DiOlio gets the signs from third base coach Brent Wales and gets ready in the batter's box as Zaire sets on the rubber. Here comes the 1-0. DiOlio checked his swing. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire Justin Snively. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Good to hold back, but definitely thought about it, though. We've seen that a couple times so far, but showing good restraint on that one.
The temptation was there on the high fastball, that's for sure. 2-0 count. Peeking back is there. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, outside corner. He found it, and it's 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 out. DiOlio looking to tie this ball game up. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and it's 2-2.
And DiOlio doesn't draw a lot of walks in comparison to some of the other players on the Majors roster, but that does not change just how often he's able to put the ball in play with a .333 average last year and an OPS nearly at 1,100. One of definitely the strongest bats on the team.
We'll see if he can do some damage in this plate appearance. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peeking back at second is Zaire. Garner takes his lead, not running. Here's the pitch, well high to DeOlio. Full count, 2 out. If Garner was forced, he would be running. Don't think he'll be moving on this pitch, though he has the speed to do it.
He has the option. He can decide how he feels out there, but I wouldn't be shocked to see a good amount of movement right now.
Full count, 2 out. The offering from Landon Zaire to Eduardo DeOlio on the outside corner, called strike 3. DeOlio doesn't like it, but the Majors are set down without a run for the third consecutive inning. We are through 3 complete at Labatt Park. It is 1-0 Brantford on MajorsTV.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
For prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
Back now at Labatt Park for the 4th inning between the Majors and the Brantford Red Sox. Our final runner has crossed the plate. And Justin, I don't know about you, but I think he's safe.
I think you're right. One of the best parts of Labatt Memorial Park is always just the audience integration that we're able to incorporate. It's always great. That's one of my favorite ones, just to see the kids rounding the bases there. Just gives everyone something to do, and kind of gives some more encouragement to get some families out here and to round the bases.
Takes some time, though. It's one of the longer between-inning events at Labatt Park. Little update on the Knights and Saginaw game, 3-2 London in the third period, 6:50 left. Jorian Donovan scored a goal for the Spirit to tie things up at 2-2, and then Jackson Edward got one back for the Knights to make it 3-2 London. Here at Labatt Park, it is 1-0 Brantford, thanks to the run that they scored in the top of the third inning off of Victor Payano. It was a strange play that got Jared Lupton on the bases when Caden Cardoso dove and couldn't come up with the ball, and then Roger Keane, a double to split the gap and drive home the first Brantford run.
And it's still been pretty close, all things considered. It's just 3 hits to 1 right now, and it's still a 1-0 game. Lots of time in this ball game for the Majors to get on the board and to try and push ahead right now.
So the expectation here for Victor Payano is that this will likely be his last inning. We expect 2 and 2 from Arias and Payano, but like I said with Jose Arias, if he feels good enough to continue, Payano may see more action past this 4th frame. He will have to face 3, 4, and 5 in the Red Sox order, the heart of their order. Jeremy Veilleux, Nick Burdett, and Evan Ryan due up for Brantford. No changes defensively. We haven't seen Brad Verhoeven slide in behind the plate yet.
Veilleux singled in his last at-bat just to get the game going there.
Here's the pitch. Misses high for ball 1. Appears to be Jacob Foster loosening up in the Majors bullpen, the lefty. Here's the offering on its way. That one misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Veilleux. Payano looks in for the sign. Gets the one he wants and comes set out there on the rubber. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
definitely some of that velocity on display. They're able to get a few of these balls right past some of the hitters.
2 balls and 1 strike the count. Payano trying to put away Veilleux. That one's there. Trying to get another strike on Veilleux. It's 2-2.
And Veilleux, one of their better hitters, hit .314 last year, 27 runs and 43 hits. So definitely able to get on base here. So it'd be nice to sit him down.
2-2 count. Here's the pitch on its way. Misses high. Full count now on Veilleux. You've mentioned it a couple of times, Justin. We've seen a lot of full counts in this ball game, particularly from the Majors pitchers. They've got to start putting batters away a little bit quicker as the season progresses.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it comes down to a little bit of a mix of trying out some new pitches, trying to test out some locations with these exhibition games, but
that one skied in the air. Shallow right field. Reichstein coming in. Krasminski going out. It'll be the right fielder, Byron Reichstein, calling off the second baseman and making the catch for the first out at the top of the 4th inning. Nick Burdett will dig into the batter's box now. 0 for 1 on the day. Popped out to Victor Plaz at third base in his first trip.
And yeah, lots of full counts again. So it's kind of like you mentioned. We're wanting to sit them down a little bit faster, get a little bit more efficient on the pitching side because we're kind of leaving a few out there, but giving a lot of pitches, a lot of different locations to kind of make these batters a bit on their toes too. So even though they're starting to get a little bit more plate discipline, holding off on some of these bad pitches, as the game goes on, that could start to work against them too as the pitchers start to change.
It's a pretty curveball there on the first pitch from Victor Payano to Nick Burdett. 0-1 the count. Offering on its way is well high. It is 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nick Burdett in the lefty batter's box facing the big lefty on the mound, Victor Payano. Here's the 1-1 home. Breaking ball again. That one clipped Nick Burdett on the elbow, so he will take first base after the hit by pitch. Burdett hardly even moved, just absorbed that pitch and took his base as Evan Ryan will dig into the batter's box now.
Sometimes that's all you got to do. I don't know if anyone at home who's listening has had I wouldn't say opportunity, but has had been hit by a pitch. Even a slower kind of 78 mile an hour, 80 mile an hour pitch can indeed hurt.
So Jose Arias is out in center field right now running a pole to clear some of the lactic acid after he has pitched, and he's been waved off the field by home plate umpire Rob Stevenson, which is interesting, Justin, because yesterday the arms for Hamilton and London, I believe, did some polls during the game on the field on the warning track running back and forth, and they were permitted to do so. But I guess it's umpire's preference, and Rob Stevenson has asked that Jose Arias does not run there. You get a look at him on your screen. Here's the offering on its way from Payano, cut on and missed by Evan Ryan, 0-1.
All umpires are a little bit different, have a little bit different tendencies either way. We'll see some strike zones kind of lightly change in some directions, and things like that can happen too.
0-1 the count, 1 out. Runner over at first base, Nick Burdett, not really a threat to run. Here's the pitch on its way. In the air, off the bat of Ryan, foul territory. That one will be out of play, a foul ball. It's 0-2. Oh and 2 count, 1 out. Burdett takes his lead off of first. Payano delivers. That one well high to Ryan. It is 1-2. Ryan struck out swinging on a breaking ball in the dirt from Jose Arias in his first trip to the plate. Payano trying to strike him out for a second time today.
We might start seeing some breaking pitches down in the zone due to try and induce a bit of a double play here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Payano. Breaking ball, doesn't get the call. He wanted it, so did DeOlio, and it's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 home. Breaking ball called, strike 3. Payano freezes Ryan, and there's 2 gone in the 4th.
So just 1 out remaining. It definitely seems that control has become a little bit of a factor right now. Even though we got the outcome that we wanted, that pitch count is definitely starting to climb here. And we might see how this goes. The Majors have been on the positive end of it. Still only 1 run, only 3 hits. 1 runner on right now. But depending on how this goes, it could quickly change in some cases.
First pitch to Ethan Paulos is cut on and missed for strike 1. Paulos hitless in the ball game. Grounded out to third in his previous trip. Here's the 0-1. Misses high, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Paulos only played in 11 games last year, had 16 at-bats. So predominantly could come in as a pinch hitter as the season gets going. He hit 188 last year during that time.
We'll see if his role expands this season. The 0-1 will miss high. Sorry, the 1-1 will miss high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike now. And time called here once again by the umpires. Not too sure why. Looks like everything's sorted out. So hitters count here for Paulos, 2-1. Red Sox ahead by a run. Pitch on its way from Victor Payano. Finds the inside corner, 2-2. Payano, 39 pitches through an inning and 2/3. Trying to end it right here. The 2-2 home. That one floated over the head of Reyes Cruz, the shortstop, into left field. So it's a 2-out single for Ethan Paulos, and the Red Sox continue this inning.
And that's another runner in scoring position. So the Red Sox hoping to get a bit of damage done here. The Majors hoping to hold them back. Again, just 1 out from getting out of the inning here with 2 on.
So we'll see what Payano can do against Kieran Bowles, the former Major. Red Sox 4 hits in this ball game. Bowles does not have one of them. In his previous trip, he popped out to Gibson Krasminski.
Interesting.
Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
Interesting little stat line. He is one of 2 players on the Red Sox team who were hit by pitches in double digits last year. He got hit by pitches 10 times last season.
Wow.
Not quite the highest, though. That would be Veilleux, who got hit 13 times.
Interesting. Not often you see that many hit by pitches for one guy, let alone 2.
Yeah, exactly.
0-1 count, 2 out. Payano peeks back at Burdett. Has a healthy lead over at second base, not really being held on. Here's the pitch, inside to Bowles, and a little bit high as well. It is 1 ball and 1 strike.
And again, not a big power threat up to the plate right now, with just 1 home run last year, but definitely good at making contact, so it could be a dangerous situation here.
Payano looks in for the sign from DeOlio, and Reddy's out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. Up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Seen a lot of hitter-friendly counts, too. We've seen a lot going in the way of the batters here, but the Majors hoping to get through it with just 2 strikes separating them and the end of the inning.
Payano has thrown 25 strikes out of his 43 pitches in the ball game so far. That's good for 58.14%, but he's only at 50% in this 4th inning. 11 of his 22 in this 4th have been strikes. 2-1 count. Payano looks back at Burdett and gets set to deliver. Bowles swings through that one, and it's 2-2.
Bowles taking his helmet off. Seemed like he really, really wanted that pitch right there. Might not be seeing too many good pitches like that down the zone.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on for the Brantford Red Sox here as Bowles tries to add on to the Brantford lead. Payano sets, looks at second, and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Victor Payano gets the strikeout to strand 2 runners and the top of the fourth inning. We are through 3.5 from Labatt Park, and the Majors trail 1-0.
And one nice thing that I've seen, you can say what you will about a bit about the control right now, but especially on that last pitch, you saw it, the batter swing underneath it. So we've been seeing a lot from Payano changing up the location on where his pitches are going, kind of mixing up a lot of upper and lower in the strike zone, definitely keeping batters a bit on their toes. So sometimes having a few of those pitches down in, down away, down in the dirt can really set up those high fastballs to strike batters out just like that.
You'd like to see Payano be a little bit more efficient perhaps, though, Justin. I mean, his pitch count over 40 through 2 innings of work, 45 total, 27 of them strikes. He got the outs that he needed, but he could have been a little more efficient in doing so.
This is me looking for that little bit of silver lining here as we were in some of these exhibition games.
So Landon Zaire will be back out there for his second inning of work for the Brantford Red Sox. They lead 1-0. The Majors only with 1 hit in the ball game so far. They have struggled to generate much against the Brantford pitching. The hit courtesy of Byron Reichstein, who will lead off this fourth inning. Reichstein lined the ball right back up the middle off of Gabe Bruder. But Bruder pitched well for Brantford early on in this ball game. 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Zaire with a walk and a strikeout in his first inning of work.
It's definitely looked a lot different from yesterday's ball game
Yeah.
so far. We saw a lot of action right off the bat, right early on in yesterday's game. Maybe this one will end up being a little bit of a slow burn, which is at least what we're hoping up here in the booth.
We'll see if the Majors get it going as this game progresses or if Brantford's pitching continues to stifle the Majors' offense. Zaire will have to deal with 4, 5, and 6. It'll be Reichstein, Joseph, Brownlee for the Majors. Lots of pop there, and then if the inning is extended, there's even more power with Cardoso and Reyes Cruz and the speedy champ Garner after that. There's no easy out in this Majors lineup.
Not at all, and it's definitely a lineup that you go through, and you don't want to face any of these batters.
Yeah.
They all offer some sort of consistency up at the plate, whether it be contact or power or speed. And it's created a really diverse lineup for the Majors this year in comparison to some other previous years.
So Byron Reichstein will lead things off in the bottom of the fourth inning here for the London Majors. Has the only hit on the day for London, as mentioned. First pitch is inside. It will hit him. So hit by pitches in both the top and the bottom of the fourth inning as Byron Reichstein will reach.
Sometimes you really want those hits, but sometimes just getting a walk, getting hit by a pitch, getting on base is getting on base, and that's producing for a team.
So Starling Joseph will have a runner on for the second time today as he saunters into the batter's box. Reichstein stands over at first base. Major's going to try to move him over and get him in. Joseph ready in the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Zaire. Breaking ball. Just misses high, and it is 1-0.
This team's very good at getting on base in general. We just saw that hit by pitch walk there. Joseph had an on base of 383 last season. So seeing so many guys in this lineup.
That one in the dirt, blocked by Veilleux. Reichstein decides not to move up.
Seeing so many guys in this lineup with over 350 on-base percentages is great numbers to see. And then when they're able to get the power, add in that slugging percentage, really drive in runs there, creates a great makeup of a team that makes it really tough for opposing pitchers to want to face.
Zaire ready on the rubber. Reichstein takes his lead, not an overly big one. Here's the pitch. Well high to Joseph. Looked like he had no intention of swinging there, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, Joseph was a statue right there. Didn't see any ounce of movement from him.
You'd expect Joseph to be turned loose here on 3-0 and have the green light. Victor Plaz did yesterday, and he homered. Joseph ready in the box. Here's the pitch from Zaire on its way. It is well off the plate outside. So Starling Joseph works a walk after Byron Reichstein got hit by a pitch. And now Jeremy Veilleux, the catcher, and Gus Wilson, the shortstop, will head in to chat with their young arm. And now we'll get a visit as well from the Brantford bench.
Great position right now if you're a Majors fan, having 2 on, none out, down by 1 run. Great position for someone exactly like Cleveland Brownlee to maybe produce on.
So Cleveland Brownlee drove home the first run yesterday for the Majors, and now he'll have an opportunity to do the same here. He's got a runner in scoring position in the form of Byron Reichstein at second base. Starling Joseph just reached first on a 4-pitch walk. Landon Zaire has not thrown a strike in this fourth inning.
And Cleveland Brownie is actually on the way to a couple milestones. He hit one big one last year, which was the 500 RBI mark. And if he has a season that kind of mirrors his 2022 season, he could be on the way to 400 runs and 100 doubles as well. So he's hoping for a nice big year.
That one floated into shallow right field. It's going to be a tough play, and it will fall in front of the right fielder, Matthew Fabian. Reichstein had to wait, and so he'll only get up to third base. But the bases are now loaded for Caden Cardoso.
Great at bat, and I'm always a big fan. I'm a bit funny in that I love the low-scoring pitcher duels, but I also love small ball a bit over home runs. I think that's the consistency that separates the good teams from the bad teams a little bit. It's one thing to get a ton of homers, but it's one thing to have all your guys just blooping them in, getting on base, driving in runs that way, especially in a count like that.
Brantford brings the corners in, but the middle infield will stay back. Cardoso flies that first pitch deep down the left field line, but it is well foul. Red Sox will concede the run for the double play if it's hit up the middle. If it's on the corners, they will try to get Reichstein at home. Cardoso ready in the batter's box. He hit a home run yesterday on a laser just under the scoreboard. Here's the 0-1. Cardoso drives that one pretty well to left center field. Going back onto the left fielder, Wilson, to the wall, and that ball is off the fence. Reichstein will score. Joseph right behind him. Brownlee will pull up at third. It's a 2-run double for Caden Cardoso, and the Majors take a 2-1 lead.
What an incredibly clutch hit in a really high moment, especially now this will lift the spirits of everybody with the Majors now in the lead 2-1.
So London takes the lead off the big swing from Caden Cardoso, and Tommy Reyes-Cruz will step into the batter's box as we get a visit from the Brantford bench. Jeremy Veilleux waving off, I believe, the manager, Ken Lupton. We'll see if it's a pitching change here for the Red Sox. There is a lefty up and throwing in their bullpen, and that will be all for Landon Zaire. So we get a call to the bullpen here for the Brantford Red Sox. It's a pitching change brought to you by Throw, London's original knife throwing. We'll have the new arm and all the details when we come back.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
For prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ithrow.ca.
Hello, my name is Jim Miller with Miller's The Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour.
Back now at Labatt Memorial Park. The new arm into the ball game, Justin, is Damian Clark, the left-hander for the Brantford Red Sox.
Yeah, and we'll see how this goes. They definitely needed a bit of a shake-up, allowing all those couple walks just to get the inning going, and then some key hits for the Majors here to get a couple runs on the board. So they were in need of a bit of a change, so we'll see how the lefty does here.
Clark will have to deal with Tommy Reyes-Cruz. There's nobody out and two runners in scoring position. It is not by any means an easy situation to come into if you're Clark. So we'll see what he's able to do against Reyes-Cruz and then potentially Garner and Plaz after that. The one thing that Clark has going for him here is that it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Clark looks in for the sign from the catcher. Here's the pitch. Reyes Cruz floats that one. Shallow center field. It's going to get down. It's going to score Brownlee. Right behind him is Cardoso. He will charge towards the plate, and he will score. It's a 2-run single for Tommy Reyes Cruz, and the Majors extend the lead. It's 4-1.
Again, another key hit, 2 runners on. That's exactly what you want from this Majors lineup. And it's always a danger that, again, these pitchers will be facing because there's power and contact in every single part of this lineup. And great time for Reyes Cruz to cash in right there.
So 4-1 London here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Champ Garner will step into the batter's box. Garner walked in his first plate appearance, stole second, then was stranded there. Third baseman Bowles playing in, watching the bunt. Garner on the ground at third. Bowles handles it, goes to second for one. Going to be a tough turn, and Garner beats it out over at first base. So the force out will result in the first out of this inning, but not a second.
And again, that comes down to Champ's speed right there, able to run that out, prevent any sort of a play at all at first base, just to keep that out of a double play.
Victor Plaz will step into the batter's box for the Majors once again. 0 for 2 on the day, has popped out twice. Once in fair territory to Nick Burdett, once in foul territory to Jarrett Lupton. Plaz trying to add on here for the Majors. Clark ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Took a mean swing at that pitch right there.
Garner not an overly big lead over at first with the lefty on the mound and Clark. Offering on its way. Swing and a miss from Plaz. It's 0-2.
And so still only 1 out as the lineup turns over to Plaz, so still plenty of time for some action to get made here.
Here comes the 0-2 on the ground. Going to be a tough play. Charging hard, Gus Wilson, the shortstop. On the run, throw to first. It is in time to get Victor Plaz for the second out.
So the Majors still have one in scoring position here with Champ out there.
Gibson Krasminski will dig into the batter's box now for London. A switch hitter batting from the right side for the first time today against the lefty, Damian Clark. Right-hander loosening in the Brantford bullpen. Here's the pitch, cut on and missed by Krasminski, 0-1 on a breaking ball from Clark. Oh, 0-1 on its way. Off the plate outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Krasminski.
And there's a reason you don't see a whole ton of switch hitters in baseball, just because of the amount of difficulty it is to be coordinated enough to hit the ball and hit the ball well from both sides of the plate, too. It's one of those things that every team will appreciate, but sometimes they're hard to come by.
Mentioned it yesterday, Krasminski, a little more power from the left side, but certainly has bad on-ball skills from both sides of the plate as that one misses high, and it is 2-1. Providing you an update, the London Knights have won the Wayne Gretzky Trophy as Western Conference champions. They move on to the OHL Finals. Final score 4-2. Easton Cowan got an empty netter in addition to his goal earlier in the game. So the Knights are off to the Ontario Hockey League Finals next week. As that one misses, it's ball 3. Their opponent, though, Justin, still undetermined. North Bay, a big lead on Oshawa right now, and I believe that they would be going to a Game 7 if the Battalion win that contest.
We'll see how things go. I know the Knights definitely had an easy start to some of their playoff time.
Line drive right back up the middle for Krasminski. The speed of Champ Garner is charging around third, and he will score. So it's another RBI single for the Majors in this bottom of the 4th inning. Gibson Krasminski delivers to make it 5-1.
And suddenly the Majors are on pace to start kind of breaking this open a little bit. We were a bit worryful in the first couple innings, but it's quickly turned around here in the fourth.
So Eduardo Deolio will step into the batter's box. Runner over at first base, Gibson Krasminski. Ready on the rubber, Damian Clark trying to get out of this jam. Here's the pitch. First pitch of Deolio, fouled off, and it's 0-1. The count, 2 out. Deolio ready in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. On the ground towards third, it's a foul ball. Bowles watches it roll on by, and the count is now 0-2 on the Majors catcher. Still looking for his first hit of the ball game.
And definitely still looking sharp. He played a bit in the offseason with the Dominican Winter League, so he's actually still been playing some ball throughout the whole course of the year, hoping to bring some of that into the Majors this year.
0-2 the count. Krasminski over at first. Setting on the rubber, Clark. Here's the pitch. Deolio smokes that one, and he will prolong this inning. It's a line drive single into left, and the Majors now have 2 runners on for Byron Reichstein, and that is the guy who started this inning for London, Reichstein was. He got hit by a pitch, and now he will come back up again here in the bottom of the fourth.
This is what happens when sometimes you turn the batting order over to draw the lineup around again when you really may not want to. And the Majors are really starting to capitalize on a lot of small ball here, a lot of bloop hits, right? Finding the gaps at the perfect times for the team.
So Reichstein ready in the lefty batter's box. 2 runners on for him. Krasminski at second. Deolio over at first. That one falls in for strike 1. No matter what your definition is of batting around, it's been satisfied in this fourth inning as Reichstein comes up to the plate for the second time. Oh, 1 home. That's in there for strike 2. Reichstein, the only Major to get on base in both of his trips to the plate. Singled in his first at-bat, got hit by a pitch earlier this inning. Ready on the rubber is Clark. Here's the 0-2 to Byron Reichstein. In the dirt for ball 1.
And quickly become one of the fan favorites and definitely one of the longest tenured here with the Majors team so far, probably along with Farrington, Cleveland Brownlee, the likes of them. So very well-known fan favorites, and deservedly so.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Peeking back at second and delivering here is Clark. Inside to Reichstein, and it's 2-2. Yeah, Byron has been around this Majors ball club for a while, Justin. Brownlee in his 14th season. Byron now in his 10th season? No, well past that. He's in his 12th season, I believe, or 13th maybe almost. Here's the 2-2. Reichstein on the ground towards second base. Lupton picks it up, throws it on to first, and the side is retired. We're through 4 complete as the Majors break out in the bottom of the fourth. They lead by a score of 5-1. Justin Koehler on the call. When we come back, you're listening and watching the Majors and Red Sox on Majors TV.
Hello, my name is Jim Nutter with Nutter's Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide you to help you with your recreation needs.
Same way, okay.
So that color,
Black.
binding, black,
Yep.
belting, black.
Yep, black. Yep. laces we did on
Black. Yeah. Can I go same color for name? Can I make these black though?
The most low maintenance man in baseball right here.
Very high maintenance. Very high maintenance.
Got the mesh back. Pro Preferred. The Platinum is very special to me. It was a great year, and there's only a few of these out there. So. Well, I was sleeping with this baby when I was younger, so got to put some good juju in these.
And we are back for another inning of Majors Baseball. As we get into the top of the fifth inning, we've had a pitching change right here for Jacob Foster, who previously was with Fanshawe. Pitched in had six appearances in 3 games, has 3 wins, had 14 innings with a 2.44 ERA and 16 strikeouts. So the Majors hoping to see just exactly what they can get out from this young pitcher here. A lot of optimism anytime that we can get some young youth back into the game. And so, the nothing count, ball upstairs for Tyler Wilson. And so the 1-0 pitch coming up. And deep drive over towards right center. And easy play for the right fielder as it gets in, 1 out. And next up will be the second baseman, Jared Lupton, making his way up. The Majors really started to break it open a little bit in the bottom of the fourth there, now with a 5-1 lead. Thanks to pretty much the whole team with the roster turning over and plenty of great moves. Good amount of small ball played to drive in some of those runs. And so the nothing count. Pitch in there for a strike. We've seen a lot of batter-friendly counts so far in this game with a bit of control issues from both sides for the Majors and for Brantford here. And fouled off the left side. A couple people having to get out of the way of that one as it was coming in sharp towards the third base side. So now the count 0-2. Haven't seen quite too many of those to get the game going. So we're about getting our way towards halfway through the 0-2 pitch. High breaking ball, just trying to drop it in there, but not quite for the first ball. Now count 1-2. And not able to keep that one up there as another ball comes in to make it 2-2. Tough plays, especially with a lot of changing velocity and a good mix-up of change-ups and breaking balls here to get the game going. So the 2-2 pitch. And tries to get another breaking pitch to drop upstairs, but not able to do so. And now a full count 3-2. And just misses down and away for another ball for a walk here to get a man on for the Red Sox. So that'll be 1 on it. Looks like it's another pitcher starting to work kind of upstairs and downstairs a little bit with their pitch selection here. We haven't seen a whole ton of movement from Majors pitchers kind of out and inside. We're definitely seeing a bit of up and down here on the strike zone. As we get ready for Roger Keane up to the plate with 1 man on at first. And first pitch in there for a strike from the lefty. One of Foster's latest appearances with Fanshawe was on the 11th, where they had a doubleheader against Lambton and came out with 2 wins. And that pitch in there for a strike to make it 0-2. Came out with 2 wins, one a 3-2 win, and the other one a 15-0 shutout for Fanshawe over Lambton, which Foster definitely helped contribute to. So those are some great numbers you want to see from a young pitcher coming in. And the 0-2 count, looking to sit him down here. And that's a sharp hit ball over towards short. Brings over to second. Only able to get the one there as it was a tough throw from second base to first. So tried for the double play there, but the Majors will be happy with 1 out there over at second base to make it 2 outs here. As the lineup looks to turn over with Matthew Fabian up to the plate here. Majors looking to keep the score in line here with a good outing so far from Foster here in his first appearance. And the nothing pitch. Ball just down and away. Bring count to 1-0. Fabian, again, last year's Rookie of the Year for the Intercounty Baseball League season. So definitely a tough batter for Foster to watch out for. And sharp hit drive over towards left field there. Nice base hit for the Red Sox. They get the ball in quick, though, to keep it to just a single. So 2 men on with 2 outs. And Gus Wilson up to the plate there. So even though the Majors kind of broke it open in the fourth there, the Red Sox still keeping it nice and competitive here. The Majors only out hitting them 6-4 so far in this matchup. Lefty looking towards second. The nothing pitch. Inside there for ball 1. Pretty much no movement at all from Gus Wilson there. Was taking it fully no matter what. The 1-0 pitch. And just doesn't make it upstairs for another ball to bring it up to 2-0 here. So that's 2 on with 2 out for a 2-0 count here. And the 2-0 pitch. Just down and away to bring it to ball 3 here. So started off pretty sharp in the strike zone, sitting the first 2 down pretty quick, but now has run into a little bit of trouble. That's definitely a hitter-friendly count here at 3-0. And way upstairs there for ball 4 to draw a walk and to load the bases for Jeremy Villot, one of the dangerous bats over on the Red Sox roster here.
Never want to load the bases, Justin, and especially against the heart of the order. Brad Verhoeven heading out there to talk with his pitcher on the mound. Like you mentioned, Foster started this inning really, really well, got a few quick outs, and then all of a sudden has run into some trouble on the last few hitters here, and we'll see if he's able to wiggle his way out of it. Certainly a guy that was relied upon at Fanshawe quite a bit, so he's been in these kind of situations before, and we'll see how he adapts and adapts to them, and overcomes them.
It's definitely one of those times where nerves can sometimes play a little bit of a factor, especially in a first appearance here. And so bases loaded, the nothing pitch. Bit inside there for ball 1.
That's a tough call because it looked like it might have been near the strike zone, but with him missing the zone quite a bit, it doesn't lend itself to getting that call as there's action in the Majors bullpen.
And inside throw down to first. Not in time, though, but a good throw from the catcher there to try for the out.
He did get the call that he was looking for on that last pitch. Bit of a dangerous play from Brad Verhoeven, thrown over to first. The runner at third base luckily worked out for him. You got to have a lot of confidence to execute a throw like that.
Exactly. We've seen it done really sharply right then. We've seen it not quite as so from the Red Sox pitcher earlier in the game. And line drive over into shallow. First base side, and the first baseman is able to make the catch. And that's the third out that the Majors were looking for.
Foster able to get out of that jam. Bases loaded, 2 out, and a little flare on the infield. Caden Cardoso had no trouble with it, just chased after it and made the grab. Good play and a good job by Foster in his first outing. I don't expect to see him out there for a second inning. We'll see. He certainly had to deal with a little bit of trouble in his first action, but a guy who's going to be an affiliate player for the majors this season, and a pretty good start for him.
Definitely got a little bit of everything in that appearance there.
Absolutely. Walked a couple of guys, got a couple of quick outs, and it looks like we've got a new arm on the mound here for Brantford, Justin.
And so that looks like Fi out there. Over to
John Felice, it sounds like, is who's in this
there.
ball game. We apologize. On the lineup card, we were only given first initial for these players, so it's been tough to figure out their first names. But luckily, Neil Srivastava, our in-house announcer here today, was able to give us the name. It is John Felice coming into the game, and that C looks a lot like an L on the lineup card.
Sometimes it's a little bit tough to tell depending on handwriting there.
But yes, this pitching change brought to you by Throw, London's original knife throwing, and Felice takes over for Damian Clark, who finished off last inning.
Majors hoping to continue exactly what they did last inning, driving in those 5 runs to get them ahead of the Red Sox. Just hoping to keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah, we'll see what the Majors are able to do here. I mean, obviously, a very, very good 4th inning, scoring 5 runs, batting around. Everybody got a chance to hit in that frame, and everybody did pretty well. I mean, you had a walk, you had a hit by pitch, you had a double, a few singles, a lot of everything in that 4th frame, and the Majors going to look to build off of that.
And we'll see how they do against John Felice. He previously pitched with the Hamilton Cardinals in their 2022 season, had an 8.43 ERA and 10 innings pitched with 6 strikeouts and 10 walks. Was a little bit shakier in their playoff run. Was there for 3 games, pitched 2 1/3 innings with a 34.71 ERA. So we'll see how he does here, if the Majors will be able to continue and kind of replicate what they did last inning.
Yeah, they'll certainly be looking to do that. They got a good guy at the plate to try and do that with Starling Joseph stepping in.
And so the 0-0 pitch to get things started for Majors. Will be down and away for ball 1.
Jess and I was told in between innings there by our colleague and director today, Matt Hiscox, that the London Knights opted not to touch the trophy.
That's very similar to a lot of baseball players and the amount of superstitions that can kind of come in. You'll see a lot of players when it comes down to batting gloves, kind of keeping them on while they're in a rut or swapping them out. In some cases, in some extreme cases, we've seen some players shave beards, change haircuts in the middle of a game in some ways.
And the Knights, of course, who won the Western Conference last year, they did touch the trophy, and they lost in the finals to Peterborough. So this year, hoping that not touching the trophy will give them some better luck.
We'll see if that's the difference maker for the London Knights, who've played incredibly well, not just in the season, but in playoffs so far.
Very impressive, and a great time to be a London sports fan, like you touched on earlier.
The 2-1 pitch. Struck on and hit towards right center there. Both fielders on their way towards it. And the center fielder able to make the grab there. That is Ethan Paulos. And that'll be 1 down for the Majors here.
Starling Joseph gave that ball a pretty good ride to right center field. A long run for Ethan Paulos. There was no real threat of that ball leaving the yard, but with the breeze that we've got, it kept carrying and nearly left the ballpark, but it results in a fly out for Starling Joseph, and Cleveland Brownlee will step in.
Unfortunately for this sport, weather can definitely be a huge factor.
Yes, it can.
So the 0-0 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1 here.
Cleveland a little off balance with that swing there. It was a fastball, groove just the way he likes it, but came up empty.
Did a little shimmy right there after that. I don't know if you saw that. See the other one coming in from the righty. Right in. Cleveland had to move a little bit out of the way to avoid that pitch there. Even the count at 1-1. And coming in, Cleveland makes some contact there. Shallow ball right towards the second baseman there, and the grab is made to make it 2 outs. So it's a quick 1-2 for the Majors here, with Caden Cardozo now making his way up to the plate there.
Brownlee just flared that one to second base. It's all about seeing pitches right now for Cleveland Brownlee. The result doesn't really matter this early in the season. He blooped a single earlier. He blooped a single yesterday. Just trying to get his timing down and get everything sorted out for him. That's goal number one in these exhibition games.
And luckily, those singles have been in pretty opportune times
They
over the
have,
past couple games. The nothing pitch. In there and swung on. Foul ball. Back towards our end. I love seeing the fans. Anytime there's a foul ball, hey, you immediately see some movement here in the stadium.
It'll be even more hectic when the crowds really start pouring in for regular season games.
1 pitch coming into the lefty. Down and away for ball one there to even the count to 1-1.
Cardoso has already displayed his power for the Majors in the past 2 games here of exhibition play. Hit the home run yesterday, the long double to the opposite field today.
And swung on and hit there, going deep center field. Center fielder rushing back. And just missing the grab there as Cardozo's making his way over towards second base. Ball coming right in. Holding him at 2 for a nice little double to keep the inning moving forward.
Yeah, we'll see if they rule that one a double or an error. It looked like it was a ball that was certainly catchable for Paulos. They've called it a double here in the ballpark. A long run for the center fielder, but that was one that was in and out of his glove, and the result is Cardoso standing at second base.
Majors will take anything. I don't think any team will argue whether it's an error or a base hit that gets them onto second. As long as they're on second base, they'll be happy about it.
Well, for Cardoso, he's just thrilled that he gets to be out there, right? And he gets the hit in his column, so the average gets boosted even though it's just exhibition play.
Exactly. And just as you mentioned, a good hit of power right towards dead center again. So he's definitely showing off a bit of the muscle here in some of these exhibition games so far. So now up is the number 8 hitter, Tommy Reyes-Cruz. And that drops in there for a strike. Bring it to 0-1.
Reyes-Cruz had an RBI single in his last trip to the plate, if I'm not mistaken. Flared one into center field.
Would love to add another one into that RBI column for him. And just a bit outside there. Bring the count to 1-1 here.
Close pitch from John Felice near the outside corner. Reyes-Cruz did not offer at it and gets the call he was looking for.
And pitch coming in. Swung on and missed for strike 2 there. Yeah, there have been a few instances so far where everyone, kind of the batter, the catcher, and the umpire have stood there for an extra second, kind of frozen up on the pitch, with everyone kind of wanting the pitch to go in their direction. In the 1-2 count. Swung on and hit towards the second baseman. Should be an easy play for him. And that'll be the third out to send the Majors right back down. And we are back for Majors baseball here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Majors still in the top of the 6th inning here. Majors still leading 5-1, out hitting the Red Sox 7-4 right now. The Red Sox committing 1 error on the game so far. We definitely saw the weather come a little bit into play here just in that last inning. But all in all, still a lovely day for baseball.
Absolutely perfect temperature, a little bit of a breeze, and the sun has been on and off throughout the ball game.
And the first pitch comes in there for a ball. That's ball 1. Second pitch comes right in there for a strike. Even the count at 1-1.
Justin, wasn't sure if we'd see Foster back into this ball game for a second inning, but no action in the Majors bullpen. He's being allowed to continue here.
And sometimes with a 5-1 lead, that'll give them a little bit more breathing room to kind of let these pitchers mix things up a little bit and to continue to kind of to progress their arm here. And the 1-2 count drops right on in there for ball 2. And so Nick Burdett, the number 4 hitter in their lineup, up to the bat here. Count even at 2-2 here for Foster. And way outside there. DeOlio having to really reach up just to keep that one in play there, but good on him to keep it in front of him.
Foster at under 50% strikes right now. He's thrown 25 pitches in this ball game. Only 11 of them are strikes, so at 44%, needs to find the zone a little bit more.
And that definitely seems to be the case right now with a walk being issued to Burdett. Again, it's another pitcher where we've seen a couple control problems so far in this game. But again, this is exhibition. It kind of gives them a little bit of opportunity to test out their pitching repertoire, test some things out to lefty batters versus righty batters. They almost play, in some cases, a little bit more loose just to kind of see what they can do. But that isn't always the case. That's me, again, giving a little silver lining here just in case. And the nothing pitch. Just outside there for ball 1. Brantford looking to climb back a bit here. And second pitch comes in there for a strike to even the count there. Evan Ryan kind of looked back to get a confirmation on that call there. The 1-1. Inside there for ball 2.
Good breaking ball from Foster, just didn't quite get the call. Might have been a little bit too far inside on Evan Ryan.
We'll see what comes up next with a 2-1 count for the lefty here. We're starting to see a bit of movement on the left and right side. We've seen a couple pitches there go right inside, almost trying to force the batter back a little bit, and then coming right back out with a fastball on the far side there.
That is, however, where he was missing to Burdett as well. A lot of the pitches were outside to Burdett, so it could be that's just the spot where everything's finding itself right now.
And swing and a miss there to bring it to a full count here at 3-2. And again, another full count on the day here for these pitchers. Full count. And ball's hit right towards second base. Not able to make a double play, but getting the out right at first base there to give the Majors the first out of the inning here. But the runner will advance from first to second here, so it's one in scoring position.
Good play by Gibson Krasminski on that last offering. And just to go back to what you're talking about with the pitch counts and the full counts and everything, you want to be on average at about 15 pitches per inning ideally. So that would bring it to, through 5 innings, you're sitting at, if my math is correct, 75 pitches approximately. Right now with 1 out in the 6th.
And we see a little bunt dropped over there. Catcher moving towards it. Not able to pick it up, DeOlio. Not able to get it off the grass there. So a successful bunt dropped in for the Red Sox here to put runners on the corners.
Dangerous moment now for Foster trying to wiggle out of this jam. But just to go back to the previous point about the pitch count, so you would want to be just over 75, approaching 90 pitches up to this point. The Majors as a staff are at 108. total. Foster's thrown 33 since entering the ball game. Payano threw 45 and Arias 30, so a little bit elevated. Probably an inning less that you're getting out of your staff right now than where you'd like to be.
So Foster. First pitch in there for a called strike. And that's the third baseman up to the plate here in Kieran Bowles. And that one swung on and hit right towards right center field. No one able to get there for it as it drops in. Fumble ball in, getting it right back in there towards the first baseman. And that is one run coming in for the Brantford Red Sox here. And runners still on the corners.
That's a unique play, Justin, and what makes that interesting is perhaps in regular season play, Champ Garner would have laid out for that baseball because the runner Paulos was running on the pitch. If Garner caught that in the air, they would have easily doubled up Paulos at first with a good throw because he was already at second base and he did not take a step back. But Garner, perhaps because it's exhibition play, elected to let it drop in front of him, and that allows everybody to be safe, and Paulos gets into third base on the play.
Then nothing comes in right on top of the zone. Diolio taking a look over to third base just to make sure they don't get a little too antsy over there. So yeah, almost a slightly risky play there on just how far they went up for the Red Sox. Really does pay off here. The 1-0 pitch on the way here. Swung on and belted over towards right field. Not a whole lot of movement as they have to get the ball in quick. And it's not going to be in time there as the Red Sox drive in another run on a sac fly over to right field to bring the game up to 5-3 here. So starting to close that gap a little bit on the Majors here.
Sorry, Justin. Game getting closer right now. Byron Reichstein makes that catch. Interesting decision by the Majors to cut that throw off. It looked pretty good from Byron Reichstein, and he's got a cannon of an arm. I was surprised to see the Red Sox challenging it from third base, but it works out for Brantford. Now they're only down 2.
Still a 2-run lead for the Majors here as Jarrett Lupton makes his way up. A little lefty-lefty matchup going on right here. And that'll be outside for Foster for ball 1. Sets up. And runner advancing from first. Throw made over towards second. And they get the out at second base. And the Majors are able to hold it back at just 2 runs in the inning there, and what could have been a bit more of a dangerous inning for the team. And Diolio really testing the arm again, showing off just how good of a catcher he is defensively and just how sharp of a throw he can make.
Yeah, great play there by Eduardo Diolio. Strong throw into second base, and the tag applied nicely to retire the runner trying to steal second there, Kieran Bowles. And it was an interesting call to steal that base. Obviously, Diolio's got a good arm, but Jacob Foster was not really holding Bowles on very much over at first base. He was kind of just executing his normal delivery, and it didn't lead to.
Hello, my name is Jim Nutter.
Didn't lead to any kind of pressure on Bowles, and the result was a caught stealing.
Well, and again, it's just kind of a bit of a momentum killer if you're the Red Sox right there on what could have been a productive at-bat, depending on how it would have gone, turned into out on the second base. And so we continue into the bottom of the 6th here. The Majors looking to replicate their 4th inning where they drove in 5 runs, getting a majority of their hits. Even with the top of the 6th there being as good as it was for the Red Sox, the Majors are still out-hitting the Red Sox 7-6. Looking to add a few more onto the board in their 2nd exhibition game of the season.
New arm into the game here, Justin, for the Brantford Red Sox. Pitching change brought to you by Throw, London's original knife throwing. It is Kyle Nash entering the contest for Brantford. Nash played last year with the Red Sox, pitched in 12 games, posted a .568 earned run average. 12 2/3 innings, 6 strikeouts, so a strikeout every 2 innings or so. The problem for Nash was the walks. He walked 8 batters in 12 2/3 innings, more than he struck out. In the playoffs, he pitched in 2 innings, walked a batter, but those were 2 scoreless innings. So Nash, trying to build off a strong playoffs, goes to Dewville University in Buffalo, New York. Pardon me, went to Dewville University in Buffalo, New York, no longer there. That's an NCAA Division II school.
And we'll see if Foster makes his way back in for the 7th when we get to that, because it looks like Braden Farrington is over there starting to warm up in the bullpen. So it looks like it might be in line for a change, and it would match the kind of pattern we've seen so far where these pitchers have been going for about 2 innings or so right now before swapping out, just to get as many arms freshened up before the season as they can. And the first pitch is a swinging strike there.
Fun fact about Kyle Nash, he was the captain of the OMHA semifinalist Ancaster Avalanche in 2016-2017. So we talked about Bruder playing in the Western Ontario Senior Hockey League. Another 2-sport athlete in Nash, who was the captain of his squad in 16-17.
And the next pitch coming into the righty. Drops a bit down low for another ball to bring the count to 2-2 here.
Champ Garner still looking for his first hit of exhibition play, but did walk earlier today, got on and stole a base.
And that's another strike for strike 3 called. Yeah, even though he hasn't gotten the hits that he's wanted to so far, he's still been a bit productive, able to steal bases, show off his speed, and some of his defensive play here so far for the Majors. And that'll bring Bradford Hoven up to the plate here.
Sorry, Justin, this is kind of what we were expecting. 6th, 7th inning, we're going to add some players to the bottom of the lineup here. The Majors will likely bat 13 or 14 at this stage of the ball game just because it's exhibition play.
And he takes a swing at it. It goes towards shallow left center there. Shortstop able to call it there and makes the grab for the 2nd out of the inning here. So Nash looking to be pretty efficient so far through this half inning here, already setting down 2 batters.
Yeah, Nash making quick work of the first 2 guys he had to face, and Jagan Chanderdat will now step into the batter's box here for London. We saw Chanderdat get a chance to hit yesterday as well, went 0 for 2.
And the first pitch swung on and fouled off. Just towards our end there. Man, I really know what you mean about I kept almost too much eye contact with the ball on now and almost gave me a little bit of shivers up here in the press box. Second pitch swung on for strike 2. Majors would love to get another runner on here. And pitch down outside to bring it to ball 1 to bring the count to 1-2 here with 2 out.
Jagan Chanderdat showing no hesitation at the plate in terms of swinging the bat. He swung at pretty much everything yesterday and made some contact on some foul balls.
Well, I like Chanderdat's stance up there, keeping the bat right up towards, right close to him. Can create a lot of good power and can give you a good amount of control too when you're up to the plate. That's the count even at 2-2 here. Swung on and hit right towards the shortstop here, making the play. Throw to first, and applies the tag to him to get the 3rd out for the Red Sox here. And so this has been Majors TV here. Game is at 5-3 with the Majors still holding a 2-run lead.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
The prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
Back now at Labatt Park, Braden Farrington taking over. It's another pitching change brought to you by Throw, London's original knife throwing. Farrington coming into the ball game, another season with the majors. That pitch cut on and missed by Jared Lupton. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Farrington last year, a bit of a down year by his own admission, looking to bounce back in 2024. 23 games, 33 innings pitched, 695 earned run average. Never a big strikeout guy, 23 strikeouts to 9 walks last year. That pitch fouled off by Lupton, and the count will remain at no balls and 2 strikes. Farrington in 2021 was dominant and continued his success into 2022 for the majors, but 2023 was a bit of a different story. He's in his 10th season in the majors uniform. That one off the plate outside, and it is 1-2. In speaking to Majors manager Roop Channerdat before the season, he said that Braden Farrington's a guy who's really earned his spot on this team. He's always willing to throw. He's worked hard. He's gone through different levels of play, and no matter what situation Roop needs him in, Farrington is always willing to come into the ball game and does a great job out there for the majors. 2-2 the count now on Jared Lupton. Lupton 1 for 1 on the day for the Red Sox. Here's the 2-2 home. On the ground off the end of the bat towards second. Gibson Krasminski charges hard. He'll fire on to Cardoso at first, and there's 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. So 1 away in the frame, and that'll bring up Roger Keane. Keane drove home the first Brantford run of this ball game on a double to the right center field gap that split the outfielders. Majors 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors up to this point in the ball game. Red Sox 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Here's the pitch on the ground, foul off the bat of Keane towards the Majors dugout, and our Majors TV camera operator Clint Householder had to duck for cover. 0-1 count, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, says the first base umpire, Steve Cochran. So the count will move to no balls and 2 strikes here. Oh, and 2 count. Farrington looking for the punch out of Roger Keane. Krasminski shading Keane up the middle. Here's the pitch, breaking ball. No chase. DeOlio with the block, and the count is now 1-2. No defensive changes for the Majors despite the bats that they inserted at the bottom of the lineup there. Charlie Bowman was in the on-deck circle when Jagan Channerdat was retired, as that one misses as well, and so the count will move to 2-2, but we'll see if Bowman will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning or if the Majors will go back to the top with Victor Plaz. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that Bowman will lead off the bottom of the 7th. Might see Drew Lawrence as well at some point. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Off the plate, low and outside, and the count runs full now at 3-2. Farrington got ahead of Roger Keane pretty quickly. It was an 0-2 count. And now it's been run full by Keane, the extra hitter in this ball game. Batting in the 10 spot. Farrington sets and delivers the 3-2. Cut on and missed, strike 3. Braden Farrington delivers the strikeout there, and there's 2 gone in the top of the 7th inning. So with the punch-out of Keane there, we'll go back to the top of the Brantford order, and Matthew Fabian will step into the batter's box. Fabian 1 for 3. mentioned it earlier, Fabian, the 2023 IBL Rookie of the Year. That one skied in the air. Shallow right field. Reichstein coming in. Krasminski going out. It's the second baseman, Gibson Krasminski, making the catch to retire the side. So Braden Farrington needs just 13 pitches to get through the Brantford Red Sox in the visitors' half of the seventh inning. And that will do it for the top of the seventh as we head to the bottom half. Majors continue to lead by a score of 5-3. London trying to add on in the bottom of the seventh inning. We'll see if there are some new faces on the mound for the Brantford Red Sox, new bats in the lineup for the London Majors. And it looks like we are going to get another pitching change brought to you by Throw, London's original knife throwing. Trying to get you who that new arm is momentarily. I believe, just going to confirm here, that is Noah Law coming into the ball game. Law enters for the Red Sox on the mound to face potentially Charlie Bowman. We'll see where the Majors line things up, but Law pitched in just one game last year for Brantford. It was a loss against the Welland Jackfish in the playoffs. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 earned runs on 4 hits. We'll see if Law maybe has a bigger role on this Brantford ball club. He will face Charlie Bowman, the number 12 hitter now, as he gets added to the bottom of the lineup, and Victor Plaz after that. I believe we'll have another situation where the Majors will play the bottom of the ninth as well, but we'll confirm that later on.
That was a fun moment for us yesterday over down by the third base side when we found out over there that we were going to be playing the bottom of the ninth, even though we had the lead. And we were on our way out to do some closing remarks and then had to come right back in just to round things out.
Yeah, had to wrap things up after the bottom of the ninth inning, but nobody ever complained about some extra baseball, right, Justin? So everybody happy that the Majors got to win that game and play an extra half inning as well to boot. So we'll see if that's the case again here today. We assume it will be. Charlie Bowman will lead off this bottom of the seventh inning. Bowman delivered a sacrifice fly, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday to drive home Brad Verhoeven. May not have been a sacrifice fly, but he did drive home Verhoeven. That I know for sure.
And Bowman, one of the stronger hitters, had a .389 average last season, so he's definitely one of the most consistent when it comes to just getting on base in general. And he also draws a whole bunch of walks. His on-base percentage right now is even at .500 across the board. So it's a great guy to have on the team.
Pitch to Bowman is popped up in foul territory. Chasing after it for a moment was Jeremy Veilleux, but that is into the bleachers near a couple of strollers. But luckily everybody's okay down there. Saw the eyes perk up of our director, Matt Hiscox, when I said the word stroller. Matt, of course, a new father this offseason, was a little concerned for a moment, but luckily everybody's okay.
And now could become a nice souvenir for one of them, too.
Absolutely. Charlie Bowman gets a big piece of this one, drives it to deep right field, and it's off the wall. Bowman will trot into second base. It's a leadoff double. And the Majors are in business with a runner at second base.
Some great speed around the bases right there, too. He was full hustle going right through first on his way to second there. I almost mentally thought for a second he might try for third, but the throw came in probably a bit faster than he was hoping for there. But a double, still great.
Justin, I thought that ball was going to leave the ballpark the way Bowman hit it. He hit it a long way and very hard. Perhaps on a July day it may carry out, but with a little bit of breeze, a little bit cooler in early May, no dice for Bowman.
I think everybody's eyebrows raised up off that hit there, and we were all kind of leaned over the desk to see if it was going to be a home run.
So that'll turn things over back to the top of the order now, and Victor Plaz. Plaz looking for his first hit of the ball game. He's 0 for 3. Pitch on its way, off the plate outside, 1-0.
And already with a man on second, Plaz could widen the lead a little bit here after the Red Sox gained a bit of momentum back in the sixth.
Here's the pitch, in there for a strike, and it is 1-1.
Plaz nodding his head right there after not swinging, recognizing the pitch. Getting a bit of a sense for the pitcher here.
Offering on its way from Law. That will miss low and away for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Plaz lines that one hard to center field. Making the catch on it is Paulos, tagging his Bowman. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. Charlie Bowman picks up an aggressive 90 feet and puts himself 90 feet away from scoring a run over at third base.
That's one of those ones where if you're Plaz, you still got to be a bit happy about how that turned out. Very sharp hit right to dead center, advancing the runner. So even though it might not have exactly gotten him on base, still has to be happy with how that at-bat went.
So one out and a runner over at third for Gibson Krasminski, the second baseman for London. And now they're going to appeal down to second to see if he tagged up, and they're going to say no. Steve Cochran has called Charlie Bowman out at second base on the appeal. So now Bowman will have to walk back to the dugout. He's been called out on appeal by the first base umpire, Steve Cochran. It was going to be a risky play for Bowman to tag up on it, and perhaps in the regular season there would have been more of a fight there from the Majors coaching staff, the Majors bench, but because it's exhibition play, they're all right with it. Bowman is headed back to the dugout. There's now 2 away.
Could see Bowman raise his hands immediately after that call was made, obviously showing a little bit of disagreement there, not quite happy with how that turned out for him.
Yeah, I didn't really see it. Looked to me like it was okay. I'm not sure what our audience saw at home. It was definitely close, and Steve Cochran, the first base umpire, calls Bowman out. So 2-0, the count here on Gibson Krasminski, who now has nobody on. .2-0 home, in there for a strike. Krasminski thought it had missed just a little bit.
Yeah, looked like it might have just gotten the top of the zone right there for that first strike call.
That one will miss, and it's 3-1.
Nice hitter-friendly count for him here at 3-1.
Three ball, 1 strike offering. Down low for ball 4 to Gibson Krasminski. And so he will reach base.
And not many of those seem to be very competitive pitchers, to be honest with you. A lot of those were right down in the dirt. Very easy if you're the batter to hold off on and restrain yourself from swinging at.
Absolutely. Pretty easy takes for Gibson Krasminski. We just got to look back in the Game Day London broadcast booth here at that play with Bowman. It's pretty close, and I think it could have gone either way. A couple people up here thought he was fine. A couple people thought he was out. So Steve Cochran was one of the folks who believed that Bowman left early. That one misses for ball 1.
Burdette right on the first base bag in case that we want to try and steal second here.
Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. One pitch will miss, and it's 2-1 now.
So just a bit downstairs there.
Two-one will sail high, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 away here in this bottom of the 7th inning.
Pitching-wise, for the Majors and for just this game in general, it's been very, very different from what we saw yesterday for both teams.
Setting on the rubber is Law. Here's the pitch. That's off the plate outside. And that'll be ball 4 to Eduardo De Olio. So back-to-back walks here issued by Law, and there will be runners at first and second as there'll be a mound visit for the Red Sox. Ahead of Law facing Byron Reichstein, who is 1 for 2 on the day. We'll see what the conversation is here on the mound.
Red Sox do have a man up in their bullpen here, just starting to warm up. So this might just be starting to buy a little bit more time for their pitcher to just warm up a little bit.
Aiden Armitage loosening up in the Brantford bullpen here. Byron Reichstein will step into the lefty batter's box. Two out of the bottom of the seventh inning. Setting on the rubber is Law. Swing and a miss by Reichstein, 0-1.
So now 2 men on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
0-1 will miss, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Reichstein. 1 for 2 on the day is Byron, as mentioned. A single, a hit by pitch, and a ground out on his day. Setting on the rubber, Law. Here's the pitch. That's there for a strike. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on the Majors right fielder. Chance to add a little more insurance to the Majors lead as they're up by 2.
Even though they have the lead, it hasn't felt like a comfortable game to have the lead in. It's definitely been competitive on both ends.
Offering on its way, Reichstein sends that on the ground towards second base. Charging Lupton, he'll flip and go the short way to second to retire the side. We're through 7 complete here from Labatt Park. The Majors holding on to their 2-run lead. It is 5-3 London on Majors TV.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Hello, my name is Jim Miller with Miller's The Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Back now for the 8th inning at Labatt Park. Braden Farrington on for his 2nd inning of work. For those of you that have spent the afternoon with us here, you may have missed the Blue Jays game, and if that's the case, you've missed quite the contest. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had a grand slam earlier in the game. It was Alek Manoah's return to the big league mound, and Manoah allowed 7 runs, 6 of them earned, over 4 innings of work, Justin.
Yeah, there was a lot of hesitancy in general with Manoah making his start. I know in his minor league stint, wasn't one of the most successful outings that we've seen, but he looked sharp in his last one. He went right side by side with Paul Skeens, who was one of the top pitching prospects in the minors.
First pitch to Gus Wilson from Braden Farrington is fouled off the catcher Brad Verhoeven, so the home plate umpire Rob Stevenson will allow Verhoeven a moment to regroup. Excuse me, that one hit the foot of Gus Wilson, I'm told.
Farrington now with his 10th season with the Majors, so again, one of the longest tenured ones on the team.
The pitch, that one fouled straight back by Wilson this time, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes.
Farrington arguably had his best season probably in 2021 when he posted an 86 ERA and recorded 4 saves in 12 outings during the regular season to help the Majors capture the pennant, the first of their back-to-back run.
No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here's the offering from Farrington on its way. A breaking ball, doesn't get the call. He thought he might have had it. Home plate umpire says no dice, and the count's 1-2.
And can I just say, it's caught a bit of contention among some of us here in the press box. I love that glove that Farrington has. I love the bright green, the bright neon. It's hard not to talk about seeing it out there.
It's hard not to talk about, that's for sure. It certainly is unique. Here's the 1-2 home. Breaking ball. That one lined into center field. Going to be a tough play ranging over Garner. He can't get there. It's a base hit for Gus Wilson to lead off the top of the 8th inning. It is, it's a poignant green. It really catches your attention. It's got yellow laces to it as well, and of course the Braden Farrington trademark emoji on the side of it.
I talked with Farrington yesterday, and I told him that I really like the glove, and he's like, finally, another person does. And that says kind of it all about that glove right there.
Braden Farrington, no stranger to bright colored gloves. He's got a bright blue, he's got a bright pink, now a bright green, bright yellow as well he's got. Jeremy Veilleux will step into the batter's box. Gus Wilson taking a huge lead off of first, so Farrington will step off and look him back. Veilleux in the ball game, 1 for 3. Farrington sets on the rubber. Wilson not running. Veilleux skies that one, foul territory. It's a long run for Cardoso on the warning track, and it just does sneak into the crowd. And there are fans sitting in the first and third row right where Cardoso went after that ball, not in the second, and that ball landed right between the 2 groups of fans there in that second row. And the funny part is, Justin, neither of those groups of fans was watching the ball, so they were both caught off guard when it landed in that second row.
It's how to easily get jump scared at a ballpark when one of those come right in your direction.
0-1 the count here on Veilleux. Wilson jumping again over at first base. Farrington hears that and steps off. Wilson just trying to catch the attention of the pitcher and doing so successfully. Here comes the 0-1. Wilson is running. That one chopped high on the ground to third base, and it's a foul ball. So Wilson will retreat back to first. Some defensive changes in this top of the 8th inning. Brad Verhoeven, of course, as I've mentioned, has taken over behind the plate. Charlie Bowman looks to be in right field, and Jagan Chanderdat is at second base.
And so correct me if I'm wrong, too, but I believe in the IBL there's 3 disengages that you're allowed if you're the pitcher towards the first baseman.
We believe so, yes. Not sure if that's coming into effect this year or next, but the IBL has agreed to that rule. They've instituted it, and I just don't know, Justin, if that comes into effect in 2024 or 2025 for that new rule, which matches what they've got in Major League Baseball as well. And if that's the case, Farrington's disengaged twice here. Not running is Wilson. That one a called strike 3. Jeremy Veilleux goes down looking, and there's one gone here in the top of the 8th. Nick Burdett will step into the batter's box. Looking to get into the hit column, 0 for 1. He's walked and been hit by a pitch in his last 2 plate appearances. First time up today, he popped out to third base. Burdett, the big number 25 for Brantford. Farrington looks in for the sign, gets the one he wants from Verhoeven. Wilson is running. Here's the pitch. It is called a strike. The throw from Verhoeven is into the dirt there, and it's in the legs of Gus Wilson. Nobody was really covering second base. Reyes Cruz didn't go after it, and Jagan Chanderdat went to back it up. Typically, the second baseman covers second base on a right-handed batter, and the shortstop would go on a left-handed batter. Perhaps a miscommunication there. Perhaps the Majors have a different arrangement with Burdett at the plate.
Almost lucky for the Majors that Wilson got there so quick and was able to almost stop the ball himself over at second.
That breaking ball is cut on and missed by Burdett. Nick Burdett, a guy who could tie this ball game up with one swing of the bat. It is 0-2 the count.
And even though Farrington's career numbers are pretty substantial, 2023 was a bit of a down year for him with a 6.95 ERA, but he still did record 23 strikeouts and a pair of saves last year. So A little bit of bad, a little bit of good, hoping to improve this year.
Inside move there from Farrington and fakes a throw back to second base to keep Wilson close. Wilson showing that he's not hesitant to steal bases. He swiped second and is bouncing around over there now. Burdette ready in the box. Farrington ready out there on the mound. Peeks back at second and delivers his offering. Inside to Burdette, nearly clipped him, and it's 1-2.
And again, one man on. Creates a very exciting ball game here, if not a little bit tense for some Majors fans here in the stands.
Here's the 1-2 home from Farrington, just off the plate outside. Verhoeven tried to receive it in a way that would get the call from the home plate umpire, but no dice. Two and two, one out. Pitch from Farrington on its way, in the dirt, ball 3. So Farrington got ahead of Burdette 0-2, and now the count's been run full. It's the same thing that happened to Farrington in his first inning of work in the 7th, where he got ahead of Jarrett Lupton 0-2 and then allowed him to get to 3-2 before, it was Roger Keane, rather, that he got ahead of 0-2 and then allowed a 3-2 count on before eventually retiring Keane. We'll see what he can do with Burdette at the plate. Count is full. Offering on its way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Braden Farrington, another strikeout here, and there's 2 away with a runner in scoring position.
And that's how you want to draw it up. Now, with 2 outs, Majors more just concerned right about the batter right now. Trying to play a little bit of damage control just to keep them ahead with the 5-3 lead.
As you mentioned, Justin, Majors up by 2, 2 out in the top of the 8th inning. Evan Ryan will step into the batter's box. 0 for 3 on his day. Farrington sets out there on the mound. Peeks back at second. And delivers. Ryan on the ground towards third. Plaz, it just gets under his glove, but it's a fair ball. Around third, charging for home is Gus Wilson, and he will score. It's a double for Evan Ryan. And all of a sudden, it's a one-run game. Still in hockey mode, Justin. I apologize.
Still thinking about the Knights.
Yeah, I guess so.
And now the Red Sox have the chance to get the lead with a well-hit ball, so definitely becoming a bit more of a tense game than we saw at one point.
Ethan Paulos will step into the batter's box. I apologize. My goodness, caught myself off guard by calling a one-goal game there. That one misses. Well, that's what happens when you call hockey from September to March.
Yeah, it can't be too easy to kind of switch from one to another. It's not quite like a light switch for us here to a lot of broadcasting.
No, it is not. Want to know the count here on Paulos. Offering on its way is in there for a strike. Paulos had a bunt single earlier in the ball game as part of his 2 for 3 day. Singled on a bloop to left field and grounded out to Victor Plaz in his 2 other trips. The 1-1 on its way from Farrington. In there for a strike, and it's 1-2. One and two, 2 out. Evan Ryan standing out there at second base. He represents the tying run. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball on the ground towards shortstop. Reyes Cruz to his left. Picks it up. Throws onto Cardoso at first. It is in time to get him. Close play at the bag, but Ethan Paulos is retired. And so too is the side. Majors hold on to the lead, but it's trimmed down to 1 run. 5-4 London after 7.5.
Farrington happy to get out of that inning. It could have gotten out of hand really, really quick with how the Red Sox were able to string together a few hits there.
Yeah, double for Evan Ryan drove home the 4th Brantford run to put them only down by 1. A slowly hit ground ball down the line that just got past Victor Plaz.
And now the Red Sox are actually out hitting the Majors 9-8 on the game. Still just 1 error that the Red Sox committed so far.
I believe this is a new arm into the ball game for the Brantford Red Sox. So we've got another pitching change brought to you by Throw, London's original knife throwing. And my goodness, Throw is getting their money's worth with the sponsorship here today because there have been lots of pitching changes. This time it is Aiden Armitage coming into the ball game for the Brantford Red Sox, taking over for Noah Law.
Yeah, sponsors are going to start going crazy for these exhibition games at the rate that we've been going.
Yeah. Armitage, if I'm not mistaken, is a native of London, Ontario. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one there, Justin.
He's from Waterloo.
Perhaps a different Red
there.
Sox that is from London, Ontario. I apologize. Attended the University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
And so he was with the Red Sox last season, too, where he pitched a .635 ERA in 10 games, 17 innings, had 16 strikeouts, and walked 18, only giving up 12 hits during his time last year.
You mentioned the strikeout-to-walk ratio there, Justin, and that's one of the things that stands out with this Brantford ball club. If they're able to limit the walks a little bit more this season, perhaps they'll have some more success. I mean, a lot of their pitchers, we talked about it earlier, have more walks than strikeouts, and if they can curb that, there's no reason the Red Sox can't compete in the middle of the pack at the very least this season.
Yeah, generally, for I'd say your average pitcher, you want to keep those numbers pretty even for strikeouts to walks. Because you still want to be throwing competitive pitches, but still slightly outside the zone to make the batters kind of have to think a little bit more about what they're actually swinging at. But ultimately, no matter what, you still want more strikeouts than walks. Giving up more walks than strikeouts is an easy way to give away ball games that you might not want to give away. That could, in some cases, be a lot closer than you'd want them to be, and that's an easy way to take an accidental loss.
Absolutely. So Armitage is set to go on the mound, and the Majors will send up 4, 5, and 6. Starling Joseph, followed by, 5, 6, and 7, I should say. Starling Joseph, Cleveland Brownlee, Caden Cardoso. As the Majors try to extend their lead here, they're only up by a run. Red Sox have been pressing as of late. They scored 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th, and are only down by 1 here.
So Armitage has pitched against London in the past. His latest game was on August 20th of last year, where he only lasted about 2 1/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs off 4 hits and walked 2, but also struck out 2. So it's kind of in line with his career numbers as well.
We'll see how he fares here in this exhibition tilt. Armitage set out there on the mound. Pitch on its way. Joseph swings through that one as well, and it's 0-2. Armitage, one of the common relievers who does not work from the windup, only from the stretch. We've been informed that we are not playing the bottom of the 9th if the Majors are leading. If the Majors, of course, fall behind, then the bottom of the 9th will be played as Joseph swings through 3 straight from Armitage, and that'll be strike 3 for the first out.
Yeah, the Majors would prefer not to get in that scenario of having to worry about the bottom of the 9th in general.
So that'll bring up Cleveland Brownlee. Brownlee trying to ignite a rally here for London. Number 6 hitter in the ball game today, 1 for 3.
And again, similar to yesterday, had a nice little bloop single to drive in a run.
Armitage ready. Here's the pitch off the plate outside to Brownlee. 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. The big designated hitter at the plate. Here's the offering. Breaking ball. That one misses, and it's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Offering on its way. Brownlee skies that one. Foul territory. Veilleux giving chase. Bulls charging in, and it's the catcher, Jeremy Veilleux, making a catch on the run. And there's 2 away in the 8th.
You know, it's the little things I like to see, like Cleveland just picking up the catcher's mask right there and handing it right to him. Some players in some leagues and some divisions will just kind of mosey on right by, not really care about that. But it does show a lot about the player's character in general of just being helpful, giving the other team's catcher a little bit of a helping hand there. Love to see it.
Cleveland always a gentleman out there on the field, as that'll bring up Caden Cardoso. Cardoso not quite ready for the first offering. He'll call time, and Rob Stevenson, the home plate umpire, will allow it. Cardoso on the day, 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Trying to do some damage here with 2 away in the 8th against Armitage. That one will miss, and it's ball 1.
Yeah, he's really showed off his power in this game, getting those couple doubles there so far.
1 ball, no strikes. Offering from Armitage is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Smaller crowd, you can hear more from individuals in attendance here today, I should say, and one person was very displeased with that call.
Gotta love the enthusiasm.
Cardoso fouls that one back. Bulls giving chase. It's out of his reach, and in the first row there. 1-2 the count. It's always tough up here in the booth, Justin, because sometimes you hear little things like that where there's a really unhappy fan. You try your best not to react in the booth, but sometimes it's tough.
Sometimes with these exhibition games, like you said, with how small the kind of crowd is today, because it technically doesn't count, you definitely get a lot more perspective of how people are feeling in the stadium and the ballpark.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Cardoso at the plate, Armitage on the mound. Here's the pitch on its way. Cardoso in the air, right center field. Moving over is Paulos, the center fielder. He's got it, and the side is retired. So we are through 8 complete here at Labatt Park in London. Braden Farrington taking the mound for the 9th, trying to close this one out. It's 5-4 Majors.
Same way, I'll do it.
So that color,
Black.
binding, black,
Yep.
belting, black.
Yep, black. Yep.
Laces we did on
Black. Yeah. Can I go same color for name? Can I make these black though?
The most low maintenance man in baseball right here.
Very high maintenance. Very high maintenance.
Got the mesh back, Pro Preferred. The Platinum is very special to me. It was a great year, and there's only a few of these out there. So. I was sleeping with this baby when I was younger, so got to put some good juju in these.
Top of the 9th inning here from Labatt Park in the Majors' second of 2 exhibition games. Kieran Bowles digs into the batter's box to face former teammate Braden Farrington. That one cut on and fouled off by Bowles there, 0-1.
And again, Farrington back from previously being with the 2022 team. He said prior to the season that he's excited to be reuniting with former players that have won before, saying that it's something special. He adds that the confidence in knowing what each player brings to the table makes playing less stressful and more comfortable for him.
Braden Farrington was a part of both of those championship-winning teams, so seeing some of those familiar faces returning is certainly exciting for him. 1 ball, 1 strike the count here. Didn't get the call in the last offering to Bowles. Farrington sets and delivers the 1-1. Off the plate outside, 2-1.
And I'm sure the rest of the team must have similar things to say about Farrington. Having that consistency, already knowing a player as they return to the team must be really, really nice for the team just to have as a confidence builder, as a consistent person in their rotation there.
Absolutely. Swing and a miss there by Kieran Bowles on that last pitch. Bowles actually caught Farrington a fair amount in 2022, so is familiar with his repertoire. Here's the 2-2 home inside, and it will hit Kieran Bowles, which will put the tying run on first base. Majors have led since the fourth inning, Justin, but feels like it's a little more dangerous now.
Yeah, they're definitely keeping it exciting. I know we got off to a little bit of a slow start, so we were already a little hesitant, and then we had that big explosion in the fourth, and now it's eased off a little bit, but we're hoping that they can maintain that lead to round out the game.
So that'll bring up Tyler Wilson here. Runner over at first, nobody out. We'll see if they put Bowles in motion as the tying run. Offering on its way, fouled off. We saw Brantford manager Ken Lupton come out to ask for an appeal from the third base umpire on a play earlier in the ballgame. So Brantford, they're taking this seriously, right? They want to win this game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they put Bowles in motion, try to pick up 90 feet.
Well, and at the end of the day, even with this being an exhibition game, it's still a game. This is still baseball. This is still everyone trying to compete at their best level. And in some cases, some people are trying to play for more playing time in general as the season goes on. So everyone's trying to do their best here.
No balls, one strike. Pitch on its way from Farrington. Doesn't get the call, and it's 1-1.
It looks like the Majors don't have anyone up in their bullpen right now.
We were told before the game that it's possible Skylar Janice gets in today, but he threw yesterday, so if Roop Chandradat can avoid using him, I'm sure he'd like to. 1-1 the count here, offering from Farrington on its way home. That one off the end of the bat, foul by Wilson, and it's 1-2.
We saw Farrington make one throw to first just to hold the runner on a little bit. Majors are going to try to do everything that they can to keep that double play ball intact here.
1-2. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner, called strike three. Farrington gets the benefit of the doubt. Tyler Wilson can't believe it. And there's one gone in the ninth. Jarrett Lupton steps into the batter's box.
You can see Wilson definitely had a few words for the umpire on that one. Not happy about that call at all.
Lupton squares around to bunt, gets it down, but gets it down foul. Caught the Majors off guard a little bit. Plaz was not covering the bunt over at third base. No balls, one strike, one out. We'll see if the bunt is on once again. Lupton looks down to third base for the signs. Plaz playing even with the bag at third. Here's the pitch. Lupton squares again. That one is high. Verhoeven wanted to throw down to first, but Cardoso had bounced off to play the bunt, and no throw.
It's the reaction time you want to see from a catcher right there. Verhoeven really looking competitive out there just to try and do whatever he can to hold that runner at first.
One ball, one strike, one out. Now Victor Plaz in on the grass, not the dirt. Quick throw over from Farrington. They might have him here, and he's picked off. Kieran Bowles gets picked off at first base, and there's two gone.
That's lifted all the spirits of pretty much everyone here at the ballpark today. Bit of a sigh of relief getting that antsy runner off the base paths.
That's a smart play by Farrington. He knows that Bowles is likely in motion, or at least waiting patiently for that bunt to get laid down. He's not paying attention to Farrington. Farrington, a quick throw over, and he picks off Bowles. So now the Red Sox down to their final out. Here's the 1-1 inside on Lupton. Obviously not squaring without the possibility of the sacrifice bunt. Roger Keane on deck for Brantford.
And Keane drove in the first run of the game.
On the ground to second base. Chandradat steps back, plays the tough hop, goes on to Cardoso at first, and that's the ball game. It got dicey near the end, but the Majors are able to hold on and take their second exhibition game to go 2-0 in preseason play as they wrap up a 5-4 victory here at Labatt Park.
You know what? The Majors just wanted to make it a little exciting at the start and end of the game, trying to keep us a bit on our toes there. But luckily, they had that big explosion in the fourth inning to give them a good lead and to lock in the game.
Yeah, Majors had a pretty good fourth inning, as you mentioned there, Justin, scoring all 5 of their runs in that fourth frame. They did not score a run before that inning. They did not score a run after that inning, and the Majors relied on that to carry them to victory here today at Labatt Park as we welcome you back inside the Game Day London broadcast booth. Dylan Baker, Justin Koehler here with you. It was a fun one from Labatt Park today, especially if you like pitchers duels like you do, Justin. Just the one bad inning for Brantford. Majors allowed a few runs here and there the whole way.
And it was one of those games from the pitching side that there was a lot to pay attention to, and you could definitely see where the mindsets were from these pitchers, trying to expand the zone a little bit, move things back and forth, almost a little bit to their detriment in this game. I think pitchers from both sides were struggling a little bit with some control and some command issues as the game got on. But at the end of the day, Majors got the win. Majors pitchers did their part to keep them intact, and here we are.
Offensively, it was that big fourth inning explosion where the Majors batted around and Caden Cardoso displayed the power again. A 2-run double. Thought maybe it would even go out to the opposite field. He looks like he's going to be a real weapon offensively for the Majors this year.
Well, and what I've liked to see, especially in Cardoso when you mentioned that, is the consistency. We've seen a lot of well-hit balls and a good amount of power behind all of them, too. So he's done that in both games so far. So if that's what we're looking forward to for the rest of the season, that's going to be a great part of the lineup on a consistent basis for the Majors.
And for the most part in this Majors lineup, a lot of guys just trying to get the feeling of seeing pitching again, right? Because it's been a while for a lot of these guys. They didn't play much throughout the offseason for the most part. And so trying to get back into the swing of things are the Majors early on. That's the focus for the team.
Exactly. And while some of them were able to get some winter ball in, like you mentioned, a lot of these guys are just kind of fresh-faced, going at it, like throwing their first balls. These are some of their first at-bats, and really just starting to get ramped up as the season gets going. So as far as these exhibition games have gone, coming out with 2 wins, getting some good consistent hitting, us getting 8 hits on the day, and similar yesterday is exactly what you want to see from the lineup.
So that'll do it for our coverage here on Majors TV of this afternoon's contest. That will wrap up the exhibition play for the London Majors. There are lots of exhibition games this week in the IBL. Welland taking on Quebec tomorrow in a cross-league matchup, and Welland plays Hamilton at some point this week, maybe a couple of times. So keep your eyes peeled on IBL social media for all those games. The Majors are back in action on Sunday at Christie Pitts in Toronto to get the regular season underway, and then the home opener will be on May 17th. Right here from Labatt Park. We'll have the coverage of that contest right here on Majors TV just before 7:30. Should be an exciting start to the year for the Majors up ahead. For Matt Hiscox, our director, Martin Otalike, our producer, Justin Koehler, and the rest of our Majors TV crew, my name is Dylan Baker. Thank you all very, very much for tuning in today, and we'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks' time when the home opener rolls around here at Labatt Park.